Damn, you are indeed very, very early, Retro. Because, like, this is an early stream for me, too. So, yeah, welcome. Welcome to a brand new stream. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're okay. It's actually so early that I'm not even finished preparing everything. But I guess that's okay. I guess that kind of, like, adds to the charm. I feel, you know, like, if we want to do something else, I'm just gonna have to prepare that, and we're gonna have to prepare that live, which feels like a more interactive live feeling to the stream. So, but anyway, how's it going, man? How are you doing? I hope you're doing good. I hope you're doing alright. Today we're back with a Just Chatting Mondays, for which I have quite a few things planned, and I don't know if we have time for all of them, but, you know, we're just gonna find out. The charm. I'm doing a... yeah, the charm of me just fucking about. I mean, like, hey, you know, there's a charm to just, like, not perfect shit. Because, like, to be honest, if I see perfect shit, I just get so tired of it. Like, have you ever seen one of those, like, very well-made TV shows or those very well-made, like, live sessions where people do such a presentation and everything they show is, like, it's so perfect that no one uses curse words and no one stutters and everyone has a fake smile. Like, you have that with, like, the Eurovision Song Contest shit. It's like, man, I cannot stand that. It's like, oh, boy, show some humanity. Show some humanity. Yeah, I'm doing alright. How are you? I'm quite alright. So for today, a couple of things that we have going on, which like may or may not happen. Let's see. I haven't seen anything remotely perfect ever. Yeah, like it's never perfect, but you know that's what it's striving for. It's like if you ever watch, like, I mean, like, I feel like American television has that even more so. Like they want everything to be perfect and like reality TV, that sort of shit. But hey, so what do we have in the planning for today? Today we have a couple of things. First of all, last time during the last stream that we did was Black Mesa Part 3, and oh my God, She-Hulk. I've not seen it, but I've seen the memes and I've seen that it was pretty bad. Yeah, like last time when we did like Black Mesa, we started off like the first half an hour just talking about shit, and the thing that we kind of ended up talking about was kind of related to do like how to balance your life with shoulds versus like what you want to do. And sometimes we get like very much stuck in like, oh, I should do this, I should do that, and then we barely have any time over for like ourselves to like do what we want to do, and as such, like life just becomes like an endless repetitive grind. So we talked about that quite a bit because it kind of naturally came up for conversation, and then a theme was like, hey, I kind of want to talk about something else, which kind of has to do with like the feeling of inadequacy, and then like how to deal with like being good enough. So that's something that I want to tackle right now in a proper Just Chatting stream, because we didn't have time for that since, hey, you know, we actually had to play Black Mesa, which honestly I'm really, really enjoying. I thought that we were about 3/4 of the way into it, but no, I think we're just about halfway, so there's still so much to go there. So yeah, very bad, yeah, laughably. Oh man, oh man, oh man. So yeah, we have that. Also what I have is, I have this iPod right here, which you may remember from a couple of years back when yeah, I think so, 2021, 2020 or so, when I decided to like upgrade this with storage. The battery of this is kind of like dead. It just kind of like died on me a few days ago. So I ordered a new battery, and like we might just, for once, use this like very handy arm system where then we're gonna like put the webcam thing that I still have over here. Like I still haven't like set it up because I haven't had the time. But yeah, like we can do like a live thing on stream. Like I would love to like do more things on stream. Something like that where we just like do things, craft things. Honestly, this is such a fidget magnet. Honestly, I really love this thing. So I really want it to work again. But yeah. That said though, speaking of working on something, how's the Lego sets coming along, man? Because I know, like, you got your free Lego sets. Like, did you already start a repair stream? I guess so. But it kind of depends on, like, how much time we have. Because I do kind of want to talk about, like, the feeling, like feeling good enough when facing inadequacy thing. Because I think it's, like, it's something that I've personally, like, dealt with quite a bit. And I don't know if I have the answer, but, like, at least it's cool to, like, talk about it, I feel. So... And if there's a topic requested for Just Chatting Mondays, obviously, I'd love to take it on. I finished all of those in the first 2 days. Damn, I did 2 of them before work and the last one when I get home. Wow, speed running through it. So, how was it? How was it to relive your Lego building nostalgia? Man. Building Legos is like so much fun, dude. It is a toy that never gets old. Though I think like the way you approach it is very, very different the older you get. Because like I remember when I was young, I would just kind of like smash things to pieces. Then later on, like you build them and you kind of like started playing around with them, where it's like, oh yeah, let me go and upgrade this, or like you take things apart and you'd start putting it together into like other stuff. So then none of the kits that we had were actually in one solid piece. All of them were used into like our own pieces, and then yeah, like later on, like what I find now is that if I even get my hands on a Lego kit anymore, you kind of build it and you're just like, yeah, I built it, and then you just put it away. So yeah, let's see. Honestly, not bad in the moment. Felt kind of sad after it was done. What made you feel sad about it? What made you feel sad about like finishing the Lego kit? I had almost complete concentration while building it, and it was nice to just pay full attention to it. So that sounds like overall, like the building experience was like quite good. All right, I'm waiting for Richard's reply. Otherwise, like, I don't know, man. That's delay. I was only sad it was over, since then I had nothing to do. Oh damn. Couldn't you didn't you have like one of those sets which were like 3 kits in one? Like, couldn't you just take that apart and make the other kit, and then take it apart and make the other kit, and then take it apart and make the first kit again, like the one you actually wanted? Stream delay has us waiting too long. I know, but also like. It's such a struggle, right? Because like, do I wait for you, even knowing that there's like stream delay, knowing that there is like stuff going on, or do I go like, well, you know, I'm just gonna like switch on to its other topic, wait for like after that you respond and I we circle right back. But that's such a weird thing for people that are listening right now. It's like, oh yeah, first a second ago we were talking about this, now we're interrupting, and then we're moving right on through. It's like, that makes no sense. Why the fuck are we talking about that? So yeah, I plan on taking it apart, yeah, and I'll probably work on that after today. I'll do that, I'll probably do it after work today. Nice. Oh man. But yeah, hey, at least you found something which is kind of enjoyable to do. Trust me, it is hard to sometimes find like purposes, like what do I want to do. I've had that too, and somehow things do show up, but I don't know if that's the topic that we want to talk about today. The topic that we are talking about today came at request from a theme. I don't know if the theme is around already, but I do kind of want to get started, unless we may do some housekeeping. We may actually do some housekeeping. I'll just do some housekeeping ahead of time, and then like hopefully by the time that we get to the topic, a theme will be around. So my apologies for having to wait a little bit, but hey, you know, it's what it is. It is what it is. So last week was the first full week of streams. Last week was also the first week where we had like 3 videos posted in 1 week, which I was very happy with on the gaming channel. Basically this week we're gonna have as far as I'm concerned, a full week of streams as well. Tomorrow we're gonna be playing Black Mesa. I'm thinking that Friday we're gonna be playing Black Mesa as well. I think that Friday we may actually be completing Black Mesa. I don't know for sure, but I know there's like 20 chapters, and we're now at chapter 11. And chapter 20 is like the end credits. So I feel like we're about 2 parts away from completing Black Mesa, which I'm super excited about. I'm really enjoying that game. However, one thing that I'm kind of running into is that I feel like there's so much more to explore when I'm playing through it, and then when you go and like explore all the side objectives that you feel like you've missed, there wasn't really all that many. It's like the game is very good at making you feel like the world is much more faster than it is. So on an initial playthrough, like you don't miss that. You're like, shit, I missed so much. But then if you actually go back and discover that there wasn't all that much, which is totally fine. But that means that for at least part 3, there will not be an overtime. If you guys don't know, overtime is like the extra videos that I make for people who like support me, like right here, whether you're a Twitch subscriber or whether you like support me via Patreon. Which at this point in time is just like Twitch subscribers, which is totally fucking cool. I really appreciate like Twitch's ability to like subscribe with Prime and also like do gift subs and shit. If you have any like feedback on like overtime, let me know, because it's kind of like something which I'm slowly but surely working on. And there should be this week a video out on the main channel about like some Twitch bot that I've written. It's gonna be the first one of like the more like, what's it called, scripted main channel content in a while. I want to try and produce those more regularly, but one thing that we are dealing with is another heatwave again, which should hopefully cease to be by the end of the week. So Wednesday, Thursday, they've kind of announced that like the temperatures are going to be cooling down, but it's still really, really warm, which is not very nice when it comes to like creating content, when it comes to like making videos. As much as I would not like the weather to like influence me, it does have a big influence because like I don't know. It doesn't really work that well for me if I'm just like, oh man, here I am, just sitting and sweating. I'm like, oh yeah, like I can't really be all that entertaining. Also, one thing which I'm just noticing right now is I need to fix this zoom. Because right now, this zoom is like, it's not great. It's kind of bad, actually. So let me see if I can fix this at this point in time. Let me see right here. Where is my camera? Where is my camera, boy? Camera. Here it is. I think that zoom is a little bit better. If we like go from this to that, that's better. That's better. And then if I go to here, so like this, why does it zoom towards here? This makes no sense. Come on, man. Zoom there. Zoom there. Yeah, I like that more. See, fixing the stream in real time. Woo. Oh, perfect. So yeah, that is that. Furthermore, housekeeping, I don't think there's much more. There's not going to be like a playthrough episode this week, because last week we didn't really do a special stream where like we set out to do anything with like a premise. I did do a bit of like Apex mouse and keyboard, but that wasn't really all that interesting. Sure had an interesting round, that was for sure. Holy shit, I just realized something. Not something related to like the Apex mouse and keyboard thing, but like one thing which I often do in my videos is that like if I make a comment like that, like, oh man, the Apex mouse and keyboard stream wasn't that great. We did have a great rendo. Like a lot of time in videos, what I do is like assume and then like a black and white filter. I think I can do that in real life too. And then also one thing which I may want to do is like add like a zoom like this, and then with like the anime like zoom animation, like, you know, the shock thing, like the white lines. I think I can make those rather easily. So maybe they'll show up in like, I don't know, like a week or so, depending on the amount of time. Because this week, and university's starting back up as well, which means that time struggle will be a little bit bigger. But we'll see how it goes. Other than that, yeah. So that said, like, even though we had a rather not that great Apex stream on Wednesday, we had a much better Apex stream on Thursday, so I'm going to try and reach out to Mike again, see whether Mike is down to do another round of Apex this week. And then somewhere this month, we're going to see a Warframe update. Apparently, Warframe is releasing Veilbreaker, which, let me see, like, what kind of information we have about that, because apparently it's supposed to be, like, one of the things that they kind of announced at TennoCon. It's going to be their next update, which will feature their 50 of Warframe. They made like a little animation for it, which honestly, it's just a trailer. Who the fuck cares? But it does have like a full-on quest to it, which I find rather cool. That said, though, it's like, I don't know when it releases, because honestly, I forgot that Warframe is so fucking bad when it comes to, when it comes to like announcing shit, it is literally insane. Let me go and make sure that I have the right thing selected. I've been interested in it for the free Warframe. Me too. However, what I'm even more interested in for is, what's it called? There we go. What I'm even more interested in is that basically, as you can see right here, as you can see right here, also, like, this is so bad. This is so bad. Let me go fix this right now. Man, my cameras are, like, I thought I spent a lot of time fixing them, but they're, like, I did not. Now I did. Here we go. Look at that. So, here we find Warframe Veilbreaker, coming to all platforms soon, play for free now. Like, basically, this is one thing which I completely forgot that Warframe is so bad in. It's like they don't know when they're gonna release shit, so like we never know when it's coming out, which is so bad for content planning. I remember back in the day, like what we used to do was like every day was a Warframe stream, so basically you just kind of stream longer streams in the hope that it would release sometime. But even as partners, we never knew when this shit was coming out, and now I just kind of realized like, oh shit. Holy shit, we don't know. This might come up like today, this might come up tomorrow. And if it comes out this week, I do want to cover it. If it comes out next week, I do want to cover it. But that makes it kind of hard to plan for shit around it. But we'll see how it goes. I am rather interested in this because basically, yeah, we're going to get a 50 of Warframe. I'm quite curious when it comes to this Warframe, like how interesting it is. Like 50 Warframes, like where do they find the inspiration for it? I don't even know what kind of Warframe it will be, but we're gonna find out. Another thing that I'm really interested in is like they have a new like quest line, which should like they say like, oh yeah, it's gonna include like Call 175, like the Grenier, and it's gonna like take place after what's it called? After the new war. So I'm kind of curious to see like where they take things up after the new war. We should see. So, what do we find here? Basically, like, let me just kind of quickly read it, because honestly, I don't know anything other than, like, they're gonna have an update. There's gonna be a Warframe that you can get for free. There's gonna be, like, new quests that's gonna confirm Call 175. The ability seems kind of boring, to be honest. The fun one the most fun one looks to be a spear throw. Interesting. Like, to be honest, it's like... At 50 Warframes, like, what do you do? Like, when you start, I was like, oh yeah, let's have a stealth one, let's have, like, a damage-dealing one, let's have, like, a tank one, let's have a healer one, let's have a, what's it called, like, a fire one, an ice one, a water one. But if you're at 50 Warframes, like, what the fuck are you gonna make, man? I don't know. But yeah, let me see here. The return of Call 175 and the 50th Warframe debut. Failbreaker brings more opportunities to be the savior of the Origin system as the legendary Grineer hero from the new war. Oh man, I like one thing which I'd recently seen. I think like I'm gonna make like a post new war like Warframe video, talking about like what is the state of the Warframe lore post new war, because I'm really curious as to like where this takes up. But like the thing which is interesting is like, yeah, I've really enjoyed like playing as Call 175 as this Grineer person, but at the same time it's like, bruh, what kind of game did I want to start playing? What kind of game did I play? Was it called Grineer Frame or was it called Warframe? I don't know. But yeah, I do hope that we actually get to play our Warframe a little bit more than with the new war, because we barely get to play that thing. Alongside Failbreaker comes Styanax. Yay! Easy name, rolls of the tongue. A mythic warrior of shield and spear. In celebration of this huge milestone in the growth of Warframe's roster of legendary warriors. I kind of wonder like how long they're gonna continue this on. It's like, it's legendary warriors. Here's number 2,000. 2,000 legendary warriors. We all know them by name. Come on, let's rattle them off, kids. Let's go. It's like I couldn't even name 50 from the top of my head. Would be kind of hard. But yeah. Let me see. In celebration of this huge milestone, let's see. You can get Styanax for free for a limited time by just logging in up to 2 weeks after Failbreaker launches next month. At what date? We don't know. And this is the thing which is kind of annoying. Like, I wish it was somewhat known. It's like first week, second week, third week, fourth week. It can happen anytime. Maybe right now. Maybe you just launched right now. But anyway, this is the quest that I'm more interested in. In Failbreaker's new single-player quest, battle your way through an onslaught of sentient enemies with Call's iconic armaments. Now, that is something which I'm kind of afraid of, because it doesn't say with your Warframe, with your very well-crafted gear that you spend years and years upon crafting. No, Call 175. Is this going to be entirely a Grineer quest? Are we going to abandon our Warframes? I'm curious. Let's see. To be fair, no Warframe specialize in any one thing too well. True, but like, I really wonder like how much viability it has, and so like at a certain point in time, things will either be recycled or, I mean, technically they're already giving people the ability to recycle Warframes by like changing abilities. How much have you done, Richard? Like swapping abilities between Warframes? Because honestly, I've never done it. I saw the opportunity was there. I was like, oh, that's kind of funny, and I never proceeded to do anything with it. I mean, we have abandoned our Warframes. Operator gameplay is viable. Yeah, that's kind of sad. I mean, like, it is viable. I did that in that one challenge. It's like, it's quite easy to do bounties and shit right now with operators. But, like, yeah, like, I wonder, like, well, like, the new war also had this focus on, like, you have to have a railjack. You have to have a necromech. So, like, if we go for the new war, like, the first mission that you have to do was with your Warframe, but no, the first thing you had to do was in your railjack. Then you were running around in your Warframe. Then you were a Grineer, or no. You started as a Grineer. Then you became a Corpus. Then you became your railjack. Then you became a Warframe. Then you became a Tenno. Then you became another Tenno. Then became another Tenno again. Then you became, I guess, again, a Warframe, but then you became a Necromech. Oh, then you became a Railjack, then a Necromech, and then you have Tenno again. It's like, you barely played as a Warframe, like, holy shit. Man! Oh boy, that was kind of weird. But anyway, let's see. I don't use that feature at all. It literally makes it to where Warframes are basically Lego pieces. Don't like that small. Don't like something small about a character. That's great. Swap it for something that breaks the game. Yeah, like It's such a weird thing, actually, because like you have this thing where, oh my god, we're gonna nerf this weapon because it's breaking the game, but at the same time, here we go, we're gonna give you all the customization to literally break the game with all these like Warframe swapping abilities. Which, hey, you know, like I'm all for like people being able to break the game if they want to put in the time, but at the same time, I'm also like, hey, I just want to have my Warframe to have the character. Like, what if I have Ember firing off ice attacks from Frost? It's like, man, that don't fit the character. That don't, like, I don't know. That doesn't work for me. That don't really work for me very well. Oh yeah, let's go read on because I'm more interested in the quest and we kind of got stuck on this thing here. Then experience all new weekly missions that will create opportunities to upgrade and customize calls to become a Grineer hero. Then return to your... Oh wait. Then experience all new weekly missions that will create opportunity to upgrade and customize calls to become a... Yo! Get the fuck out! Yo, are they serious? Are they serious? I was memeing when I said, what are we gonna have, Grineer frame? We're gonna literally have Grineer frame. Efim, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. Here we let another moment meant to pass the melodies from the cacophonic record player. Baseless, massless, lifeless, gone. I don't know what it means, but it sounds poetic. Look at this right here. They're literally like, hey, we're gonna have new weekly missions, so weekly you can become a Grineer, and you can upgrade your Grineer, because right now, we realize that you guys don't like content islands. Content islands kind of suck. So we've seen that with Arkwing, we've seen that with Railjack, we've seen that with the Necromex, and we kind of seen that with the Tenno system. Like all these different systems that kind of like allow you to play like Warframe but in a shittier way. Like we see that people aren't really adopting them all that well. The Tenno may be the best because like the Tenno, like you can very quickly swap in and out, and you know they're kind of cuter or whatever. But yeah, so like those four things, we realize that y'all don't like them. So let's add another. You can be a Grineer now. My god. Holy shit. Like next year, probably what they're gonna do, you can be a Corvus. Number 6. You have 6 different ways of playing like a shittier Warframe. Boy, I'm excited. Then return to your chosen Warframe to face off against the unbridled wrath of the Archons with your... Archons? I thought we beat them already. With your squad in new Archon hunts. Wait. Is this just gonna be... Is this literally just gonna be... The Archon hunts, is that just gonna be like, oh, that will just be like new weekly stuff? Basically, does this mean that the entire quest is gonna be we're not gonna play as a Warframe? Because like basically what they're saying is like you play the single player quest as Call, as the Grineer. Then after that, after the quest, you can like do weekly missions, and after doing these weekly missions, you can like do weekly missions with your Warframe. You cannot do the quest with your Warframe. What the fuck? To survive these new deadly bosses, you need all the power you can get. Bauer's butt plug will to cut them down with ease. Fortunately, you can instantly wield the might of Steinax syntax without logging in. Can I be the Helmuth chair? I guess over time you will be. And that's just the beginning. Failbreaker will also introduce Void Shell skins, Protea, Caladrus collection, and an abundance of quality of light changes and more. What are the QOL changes? Not only will Failbreaker bring more ways to be a hero, we're being heroes right now? What the hell happened to being space ninjas? Why are we heroes now? Since when are we heroes? Rahab, tell me. When did Warframe Slogo go from like ninjas play free to I want to be a Psycho no hero? Oh my god. Oh my fucking god. Let me see. The weekly missions you can use for your frame start at level 170. Oh, interesting. Says, when the fuck have we been ninjas? I mean, like, I guess the only time that we were ninjas was when we had, like, fucking Ash with Shuriken, but... At least that was, like, the branding at the start. Now we're heroes? Man, I don't want to be a hero. Listen, listen, I don't want to be a hero. Fuck that, you know? Like, because basically, like, if you have here... Like, let's imagine, like, you have a giant party, right? And, like, there's a lot of food. Like, if you're a hero, like, you're gonna share all the food with everyone. I want to eat all the food. I mean, I don't want to be a hero, by the way... Good on you if you get that reference. Oh man, ninjas, since when? I've always been a 10-ton killing machine that looks like Hatsune Miku. Since when have we been heroes? Well, ever since here it is said, there is more ways to be a hero. Woo! Fantastic. But it also includes a multitude of quality of life improvements, including essential Warframe reworks of abilities and mechanics on the... Wait, they're reworking Excalibur Fold and Mag? What the fuck are they reworking on Excalibur Fold and Mag? Additionally, we've been making ammo, armor, Riven collection, and Syndicate pledge improvement, along with even more Warframe augment buffs. So, are you gonna expand on this shit? They're not gonna expand on this shit? Like, who knows? Like, they might even, like fucking, like, destroy these things. Boy, boy, is this gonna be a juicy update. I mean, like, not very juicy. I mean, like, at the end of the day, it's still worth it, but I'm too tired to type about damn. Do you want me to jump into voice chat and explain? Sure, whatever. You know, let's do that. Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm fucking down. I am fucking down. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. We're gonna have a little chat. Where is the voice chat? There it is. Let me go make sure that this shit is on. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, I think it is on. Let's see, type to me and I'll type it for you. That's not really, Afim, that's not really reducing his need to type. That's not really taking that away. He's still gonna have to type, but this time he has to type it to you. I mean. Fold is apparently getting faster. No way, but he was already so quick. Fold the hero, holy shit, we were talking about Fold, look who shows up, it is Fold the hero. Shit, now we gotta talk about a Hydroid. Let's see if we can assemble Hydro the hero. Hydro the hero, are you here? Legit, Travel's name was for a little moment Hydro the hero, but I guess someone found the login information to his new account. What's up, dude? How's it going? How you doing? Alright, Arab. I see you here. I need permissions. Wait, you're not allowed to speak here? What the fuck? Oh wait, you're on a server mute. Who put you on a server mute? Did I ever put you on a server mute and then forgot about it?
I do not remember anything.
Me neither. But like when I just looked at you were muted, it said like a server mute. So maybe that's because like you join in here and then like it automatically mutes you. But I was like, shit.
Possibly.
What if like the last time that we spoke in here, which was like probably months ago, like I was like, oh, server mute out of a meme, and I forgot about it. That would have been bad.
If you did, fuck you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait a minute.
Retro says, wouldn't you be the only one who could do that? Yeah, I know, cause like Rahab is like the highest level of permissions. He's a mob, like below me, basically. Like there's no one else that has a higher level of permissions. So like I was kind of worried. I'm like, shit, did I just like? Cause like I will server mute people for a meme. Like I'll definitely do that, but like don't forget about it. Like that's kind of bad. Like that's kind of like really bad.
Right. Some of the new stuff, the missions we were just talking about, the Archon hunts, they're basically advanced arbitrations.
Oh.
Like they've got the same rules as arbitrations, co-op revives only and restricted consumables, and they start at like level 170.
I see.
Then you've got the whole Carl stuff. The changes to Mag, Excalibur, and who was the other
Volt.
one? Volt. Volt's abilities are getting a little bit of a damage buff, I think. The speed buff is now lasting longer as well.
All right.
His shield will no longer cost energy to... Retro, shut the fuck up.
Just for some context, Retro's like British. Cup of water.
You can pack it in and all. Yeah, his shield will no longer cost any energy to pick up, and it doesn't slow your speed down now either.
Oh shit!
Still mad about that. I don't fucking drink tea. I despise this shit.
Oh man, Fold says back was using the bathroom. So, dude, you just missed the perfect entrance. Like literally the moment that. All right. Oh my god. Okay, just a second. I'm sorry for the intro, but like I gotta bring this up. Like we're actually talking about like Fold's buffs. Like having the speed while you're holding the shield is actually quite interesting. I do want to get back to that, but basically like Fold right here. I don't know if you still want me to call you Fold, because like I don't know whether you still want to go by Fold the hero or whether you're gonna change it. But basically he was like, man, I want to watch your stream. Like I was like last week, I'm like, yeah, I'll let you know. That's also why I tagged him like in the new content thing, because he was like, tag me. I was like, okay, I'll tag you. And then like he forgot his password, so he couldn't log in. So I was like, okay, cool. So like now he joins. I'm like, we're literally just talking about like Fold just got like a buff. And like literally the moment we say that, like Fold the hero follows. So like we are just like, look at that. We're talking about Fold. Fold shows up. what a coincidence. And then he's just like, he's not there. You're at the bathroom, man. Like, bro, like you made such a perfect entrance. You timed that. Well, I don't think you timed that, but maybe you did. Maybe you waited for the perfect moment that we just randomly would talk about Fold the Warframe. You're like, yeah, now I'm gonna follow. Oh man, I was trying to get extra buff. Well, I guess you're gonna get some buffs now because you said that basically he's gonna get an overall like buff. He's also gonna get speed increase on his ability. No energy for shield pickup and no speed decrease for shield pickup.
Yeah, and I think it doesn't limit you to his secondary either.
Interesting. I mean, if I still play Warframe on the regular, interesting.
Yeah, I haven't played it in fucking months, honestly. I'm just waiting for their update.
Yeah. But it overall sounds good. Like, doesn't sound like anything that they're like, oh my god, they're ruining the Warframe sort of thing.
Yeah. Mag, her main change is that her greedy pull, you know, well, not greedy pull, her pull ability, no longer jettisons things behind you. It will vortex them in front of you where your cursor is.
Ooh.
So that's much more useful for going around and killing things. The armor fragments left by her, is it her third? I think it's her third. Yeah, her third. Can now be put into her bubble ability thing, and that will improve the damage. And then Excalibur, the cap limit, the enemy cap limit for his radial javelin is being removed, so all enemies that are in range will be hit. They now do slash procs, and his slash dash will now do slash procs as well.
Ooh.
Apparently they did say that it was going to be substantial slash procs as well, so
I'm kind of surprised though. Like, why the hell would they put like slash procs on like a slash dash? It's like, man, I mean, like I don't understand why they didn't do that years ago. But hey,
I mean,
yeah,
the fucking Kavats do impact damage. Cat claws, impact damage.
Welcome to Warframe, boys, where your kitty cat is stronger than you. I mean, like, they're just moving away from the Warframes now. They're literally moving away.
Yeah, that's another thing with Volt. His shock ability now costs 15 energy instead of 25.
Wow. Is that the first time that, like, an ability costs, like, less than 25 energy? Apart from, obviously, like, Nidus and thing. Hildred. Oh, Hildred?
Possibly, I have no fucking idea.
I mean, I don't know either.
Don't cost anything.
Let's say.
Speaking of Hildren, there's something I'm quite looking forward to, is the rewards you get for those Archon missions.
What is that?
Because, you know the little crystal things that you got in the New War? The most recent quest I've forgotten the name of. They can be used to now permanently buff stats for your frames.
Hold on. Full. Or Angel. Angel Full. How long has it been since you played that Warframe game? How long has it been since you made, like, Warframe reviews, man? Remember the days when, like, you got a Warframe, and those were its stats, and those were its abilities? Right now, here we are, okay?
Oh boy, Volt, you're in for a treat.
Here we are. Listen. We had a game called Warframe, where we were ninjas play free, space ninjas, okay? Right now that's changed. You were ahead of the curve, man. You were ahead of the curve because look at this shit. Look at this shit. Right now, we aren't space ninjas anymore. Right here, we are literally, hold on, there we go. We are literally heroes. We are heroes. Look at that, look at that beautiful, beautiful thing right here. Not only will Failbreaker bring you more ways to be a hero. We're heroes now. We're fuck space ninjas. Space ninjas are so old-fashioned. Faboja, how's it going? That said, right now, if you have a Warframe, you can change any ability you want. You can put any other ability you want on there. Now,
not
well,
true.
Most. You can change a lot of abilities.
There are specific abilities you can switch around now, yes.
Now, all of a sudden, I'm hearing that you can find crystals to permanently buff Warframe stats. What's going on? What's going on? I mean, like, you may be wondering, man, is that gonna break the Warframes? Is that gonna break, like, basically, back in the day, like, you had set stats, you had, like, things that were, like, you had literally, like, this is the Warframe, these are its abilities, and we're gonna give you one set of stats. Now it's like, hey, here we go. You have a Warframe, you can put whatever you want on it, and you can put whatever stats you want on it. Enjoy. Be my guest. I think that the only reason why they're doing this is because what you're seeing here right now, they're going to be introducing a new quest, and this was the only reason why we were talking about Warframe is because they're going to be releasing their 50 of Warframe soon, which are going to be entirely free. They're also going to be releasing like a quest. It's going to be some sort of big update. I was kind of like, I'm kind of interested in playing at least that to see what the hell's going on with it. I was kind of like looking at like when is it going to come out because they never give you a launch date. So I was reading this shit. And basically they're saying here, they'll break and brings more opportunities, like this is the quest. Let's see. In the new single-player quest, battle your way through an onslaught of sentient enemies with a Grenier. So what we're going to be playing as is as a Grenier. And then after that, you can do weekly missions as a Grenier. So remember when Warframe introduced basically they had the standard Warframe thing and they started introducing like offshoots, like weird content island offshoots. You had like become a flying thing, your Archwing, become like a flying thing, your Railjack, become like a Tenno, like a weaker version of your Warframe, which is like a little kid. Become, oh my god, like something else rather. What do we have? Railjack, Archwing, Tenno. Oh yeah, Necromac, like the fucking battle boss thing, which is also a worse version of your Warframe. Oh boy, we know how y'all didn't like that. We all know how y'all, like, no one sticks around for that. Listen, what we're gonna do now is now you can become a Grenier frame, another worse way of playing your Warframe, and it's gonna be the entire quest. So you can fuck up your entire Warframe now, and now, like, it doesn't matter because you're never gonna use it because we'll force you to do other shit. Hey, crazy!
I mean, your Necromac might be weak.
Bruh. Bro,
I remind you of the damage cap of my Necromac.
Bro, why would I want to become a robot in like a game where I'm like why do we have so many things that are just like, oh yeah, no, we haven't. Oh my god, I don't know.
Because the mechs are unironically a lot more fun to play than the frames in a lot of missions.
Oh really?
Yeah, unfortunately you can only use them on Railjack or the open world. So that's what people asked for.
Oh boy, wonderful.
Yeah, if you just look in the stream chat channel, that's a picture of the new system.
Alright, let's see here. Oh wow. Well, wait, does this literally buff everything across the board? Like we just said?
I don't think so. I think it buffs only one of those, but it can be done 5 times, so you could choose each of those once.
Oh wait, so it's only like health, shield capacity, energy max, armor, and health regenerated.
Oh no, that's just for one type of shard.
Oh, so you can only do 5 times one type of shard, or only like one type of each shard?
Each frame can be. You can use a shard on each frame 5 times.
Okay.
So I think you can mix and match them.
Well.
But yeah, here comes my 15k health on Aros, and my 7k shield Hildren.
Oh man, oh man, oh man.
Because that build that I have was always well known for running out of shields.
Definitely.
It literally never ran out of shields.
Or the health regen, man. The health regen. Oh my god, it's gonna be fucking fantastic. Foboji says, imagine they add a battle royale. I feel they're way too late for that. Listen, I think... Hold on, I gotta resist the urge. I've resisted the urge. I wanted to do another look here, listen, but I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm not using that meme too much. If Warframe wanted to do a battle royale, they fucking could have. Basically around the time that Fortuna came out, 2018, was kind of like the time that new battle royales were starting forming. If they did a battle royale, and we've said this a lot, like, we've been talking a lot, like, in podcasts with, like, Mogamu, with, I think Rio as well, with, like, Defton, with Cole, we were like, they can do a battle royale. As long as, like, you drop a Steno, like, onto, like, Fortuna with, like, the ever, like, decreasing ring sort of thing. And then, like, the things that you pick up are Warframes, weapons, and, like primary weapons and melee weapons. And then what you have is that you have a Battle Royale, which is, like, signified by, like, not only is, like, weapons, like, on chance, also, like, your ability, like, your heroes are on chance. So basically, like, you have, like, a hero Battle Royale, kind of like Apex Legends, but you have to, like, pick it up, which other, like, Apex things could not have done. However, like, yeah, they never done it because, like, honestly, their PvP kind of, like, sucked. So, yeah. Fortuna came out in 2018. Damn, yeah, it did. It did. back then, like, it blew up the entire, like, Twitch scene because, like, their drops period was, like, the first one, and oh my god, it was so bad. Fold says, yeah, I don't know, man. Regarding the previous Warframe talk, in my opinion, it went down the drain. As someone who played back in 2013, everything felt so fun and great about the game. Was ninja-like, story so interesting, wasn't just about the grind. Now it's just what frame explodes the room faster. Spend 150 hours a week grinding for a singular item and be disappointed by updates that are overhyped. Maybe I just outgrew it, but Warframe isn't for me. Welcome to the group. I think everyone here feels the same way. How about you, Rahab? I know that, like, I think you're, like, the one that plays it maybe together with Retro the most frequently of us all.
I mean, well, Vault the Hero, I've got something that will be quite fucking interesting for you. Much to my annoyance, they are now focusing on nerfing AoE weapons for exactly the same fucking reasons I said they were going to when they unveiled their first melee and gun rework about a year ago.
They're nerfing melee weapons?
AoE weapons.
Oh, AoE.
So,
well,
like,
but didn't
Rama, Ogre,
Oh
and
my
all that
god.
lot. I feel like that fucking Greek oracle who gave amazingly accurate predictions but was cursed to have no one ever believe her.
Yeah.
Because this is like the third fucking time I've said this is going to happen with the direction that they were going to take changes, and lo and behold, no one fucking believed me. Oh, you're just overreacting. Oh, you're just complaining because your meta's gone. No, I saw what was going to fucking happen down the line.
So I think they've already nerfed melee weapons. They've already done that because people were using way too many melee weapons, and they were like, "Oh, we want people to use guns because otherwise they're slashing through like enemies and they're not playing." But what Rahab just said is that we don't like. They're now nerfing AOE weapons. So if you had weapons that could blast an entire room, no more, because we want you to shoot with your gun, like preferably like one after the other and only headshots because, lovely.
They are actually popping headshots.
Yeah.
Now it's like a 3 times multiplier
Damn.
instead of like 2 or something. But the changes to AoE stuff, first of all, Prime Firestorm, the one that adds 55% bonus range, is now going to be 45, I think. Which doesn't sound like much, but when you consider the fact that it's now just going to be double the original rather than 3 times, it's going to add up.
Yeah.
Especially with the other changes. Ammo is now being changed, so there's only 2 ammo types that drop less frequently, primary and secondary. And so that means that the AoE weapons will be running out of ammo more frequently.
Wow.
Because apparently, according to DE, you can go through an entire mission without ever running out of without running out of ammunition for a explosive weapon, which is not fucking true. Oh no, that was it. They said that was possible without using ammo mutation mods, which is a fucking lie.
Oh
like,
boy.
The amount of AoE weapons I have that still run out of ammo if I'm not careful about it with those mods. It'll no longer be doing AoE damage through walls, because explosions well known for being kept within walls, which is fucking brilliant because Mesa can still shoot through walls, and Sarin can also still nuke without line of sight. And those 2 frames are legitimately fucking broken. Everything that they were saying about AoE weapons and the problems that they were saying we are nerfing these for equally applies to both Sarin and Mesa, but they have not been touched, and they're still apparently not being touched. So
yeah, it's honestly, it's just a game where like I've stopped, like I think most of us have just stopped caring about like all the like little details. Like the thing that I said when it was welcome to the group fault, the thing which I meant was that basically I feel everyone here has gone for like their heydays of Warframe where we're like, oh my god, this game's so cool, we're keeping up with everything, we want to cover everything, we want to be in touch with everything, we're spending hours on this, and now it's like we come back for the updates, or we play because there's nothing else to play, or we don't play it at all because Just bullshit like this, man. Like, yeah, nerf chat, nerf Tenno, nerf frame, nerf soul, nerf load times, nerf ammo, nerf your need to live, and nerf updates. They already did that with Railjack and the Lich system. Maybe I'm nerfed. Ever wonder why I don't upload anymore? Dude, like, I am glad that you've gotten, like, off that Warframe bandwagon. Me too, man. Like, it's, like, I only do updates right now because, like, it's just easy content, and people still kind of like to watch it. But, yeah, man. Bro, the new focus sucks ass. Yeah, I mean, like, I just haven't found the interest to, like, go in there. Game's been boring for the longest time. It really has been. So...
well, new focus, there is some good stuff about it, but then there is stuff that was just like, why did you change this? Like, there was no need to.
I think it's interesting if you, like, spend the time to, like, dig into it, but, like, I just don't have the motivation to dig into it anymore. It's like, I just look at it, I'm just like, okay, cool. And, like, the most that I will do to it is, like, I will just update everything. Like, if I'm like, oh, if I want to fucking with focus, I'm just gonna go, like, upgrade everything to the max because it's talent tree, and then just, like, be like, hey, Wiki, what's the best focus system? And they're just gonna be like, Saruman, Madusai is the best one. I'm just gonna be like, yay, click, and I'm never gonna look back. But yeah. Volta.
The thing is, Volt, the main problem of why they're needing to do this, the main reason they're needing to do these changes now, is because the previous changes they introduced for guns were just a band-aid. All they did was add a few new mods and change the way certain other mods worked, namely for melee weapons, and made them worse. Whereas the new mods and arcanes you can get for guns are good. They do make weapons very powerful, but only certain weapons that were already meta to begin with, and this is one of the biggest criticisms I had of the changes when they were being announced, was because, as I said, this was going to drive a further wedge into the meta and make other things less viable. Because again, the problem isn't the mods these weapons have, a lot of them, it's the fucking stats. You can put as many galvanized mods as you want, as many primed mods as you want, and as many fucking arcanes as you want on the Stug, it's still the fucking Stug. It is not going to be used for anything more than level 40, and that's being generous.
Yeah, but...
the only way you'll be able to change that is by making all weapons have, like, a set... well... to keep weapon diversity, I wouldn't say that they would all need to have a base, like, status or crit of 20%. If they were, like, status-based or crit-based, like, you could have one of those stats fall lower. But at the end of the day, one of those stats does need to be at that level. And also the type of weapon that it is will also greatly affect whether or not one of those things will actually work. And this was just all completely ignored in, oh, we've made new mods. And it's like, you've made new mods to work around the problem. Oh, and forgive me for ranting here for a moment, but these fucking arcanes and mods were needed to deal with the steel path, but you needed to play the steel path to get the fucking things you need to get those arcanes.
Yeah.
Which means that people had to still use the meta, still use unfun, effective weaponry to grind up those things until they could get them again, and they didn't even have the benefit of being able to use melee at that point either, because melee had been nerfed.
Honestly, the thing that really, like, fucks with me the most is that it just gets to a point where just I don't care. In the sense of, remember back in the day, like, what you had is, like, you had your gun, okay? You had a gun. Actually, no. Let's start out. You had a Warframe, you had a gun, you had two guns, and you had a melee weapon. And all of these things you could level up from 0 to level 30, okay? So, 3 things that you can change along one dimension. Then you had, each of them had, like, mods that you could put on them. So, like, you could change them in, like, infinitely many, like, combinations of mods, infinitely many, like, combinations of, like, you know, like, having, like, different levels to it. And then you had, like, this forma thing, where like you could even like change the mod polarity such that like you could make even better builds. And then you had like the Orokin reactor such that you could like add even more mod space on it. So that's basically what you had. Like you had like 3 different things basically: a warframe, a melee weapon, and like a shooting gun weapon. And basically like what those had were like you could change them with mods, with levels, and with like formats. That was it. Like pretty straightforward. I mean, like it was still very, very confusing to people. But if you took like a little bit to understand how crit worked and how like status worked and like what kind of things work best on like what different enemies, totally fine, perfectly okay. Now, what you have is like if you're gonna do a mission, like you're gonna have arcanes in your warframe, which is okay. You know, you have an extra thing that gives your warframe a little bit buff. But then you also have an arcane in your operator, which is also going to work. Then what you're also going to have is you're going to have an arcane on like your primary, secondary, and maybe also melee weapon. I don't fucking know. Like you have arcanes on weapons now. Then what you also have is like you can interchange the abilities on your warframe. So you're going to like optimize for like what you put in your warframe. You get above the stats on your warframe. And then basically, like if you have all of that, you gotta account for, hey, melee has been nerfed. Oh, they're nerfing these weapons, so I can't deal with that. Also, make sure that if you're running around with a weapon, make sure you get the right Riven mod for it. Or actually, no, fuck it. Instead of like putting the weapon together from like 3 different parts, go and like scavenge the entire fucking like open worlds for the best way to combine your weapon from 3 different parts, and then like rank it up and see whether you like it, or maybe change out these parts. And then use your Tenno operator thingy to like find the best schools such that like you can work with like the best synergy on that. Oh wait, that's not it, because now that we're here, that's just the only way that you play with your warframe. But we also have an Arcwing way. Arcwing has the same thing. That you have also this entire system on there, and you have like this gun, which is the same thing, but you only use it for very select missions. But you know, you have that there. Okay, so like that's so cool and all. That's so cool. You only have those. Oh no, we mentioned the operator. The operator also has weapons you can upgrade. The operator also has like arcanes on there, and it has like an entire focus system, which like we rework from time to time, so you have to like completely relook into it. But that's okay, you know, that's all there. Oh yeah, we mentioned Arcwing. We have Railjack on that too. Railjack is like an entire ship that you have to build. It takes you like a week to do that quest, because we were like when we released that quest, like the Warframe Queen was like, man, you never released like content, and if you do, we complete in an afternoon. So then we said, you know what? We're gonna do like 6 quests with like 6 or 7 parts, and they're all gonna take 12 hours to complete. The build time, you can't speed it up, because man, we're so great now they can't complain that we finished in an afternoon, because you literally can't. So then you complete like your Railjack thing, and it's like, okay, well, you have another ship. What does that do? Oh wait, you're gonna have to put like parts on it, like weapon parts on it, but these weapon parts are gonna be like randomized, so you're gonna find the right stats like to randomize it, and you have like intrinsics where you're gonna put points into it, but then you have to like spec out your points, you have to, and there's like mods maybe, I guess, like I didn't really bother to look into it, but that's okay. Once you have that figured out, you are A-O. Necromex. Oh boy. Shit, we forgot about that. We also have Necromex. So if you have your arc gun, you can put that on like a robot thing. Man, a robot thing? Oh man, that's like an older Warframe. It's like an older Warframe, which is like basically like the technology before the Warframes. Hopefully it's not too complicated, but hopefully it doesn't have... Oh wait, it also has like mods and things that you can adjust on it, because why the hell would it not have? But hey, luckily now we're all okay. Now it's all Kafads and like pets. Same thing, just, you know, like the old... Oh man, I almost forgot about that. But hey, now we're okay. Oh wait, next update, we're gonna be introducing a Grineer. You're gonna be able to fight as one of the like enemies that you fought against, but now he's gonna be you, and you're gonna have to like have mods on it. They're probably gonna be different from Warframe mods, because this thing is different. You're also gonna have like different arcane signs. And then you can also like interchange abilities and like... I
don't think there were any arcanes or mods for Carl.
Dude, like they're literally saying right here, let's see. They're saying shit like... then experience all new weekly missions that will create opportunities to upgrade and customize Cole to become a Grineer hero. So you're gonna be able to upgrade and customize him. Just like you can...
Referring to weapon usage and the costume he has, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, and like, just like right now, you can upgrade and customize your Lotus. It's like, man, like... Unless what you want to do is spend like 4,000 hours into figuring out how everything works, like only then can you have fun, basically. But at that point in time, you spend so much time playing it, do you even want to have fun? And like, that is something which like I'm running into right now. I'm just like, I don't care.
Customization for the Lotus, and they still won't let us do anything with the Lotus.
Yeah. I just can't be bothered, man. So like honestly, like I don't give a crap. It's the same thing with Destiny. Like you have the same shit with Destiny. I feel like these live service games are running towards like an end of their life cycle where they're becoming so much that either they have to delete content, but then they still have to keep all the systems that are in there because what if someone loves the systems or they're
You just reminded me of something about that. Apparently raids are coming back.
Whoa! Whoa, Full, you hear that? You hear that? Remember when we made, wait, actually, did you make YouTube videos around the time that, like, raids were gone? And, like, you had to cover that? Like, man, raids are gone. They're announcing a week later that they're gonna bring replacements. Oh, it only took, like, what, 6 years? 6 years? 4 years? 5 years for them to, like, man, wow. Okay, so, like, how are they gonna return them? Are they just gonna return, like, the normal thing? Or are they just gonna, like, make something new?
I think they're going to make something new. They didn't really go into much detail about it, but apparently they are looking at bringing them back.
Oh.
Making new things with them.
Okay, so
also, just quickly for Boji, the changes to AoE weapons are their range is being reduced. They will no longer be able to shoot through walls or blockages like that. They will have less ammo, and they will no longer be able to headshot.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Yeah, I think I did a raid with Flynn on a stream a while back. Yeah, that's been years back, dude. Like, we had, like, this dude called Darkslayer313 was, like, a raid streamer, and he would actually help people out to, like, do raids, because no one dared to do them, basically. Also, Folt says, bro, Warfare feels like YouTube. They keep doing unnecessary shit to make things worse, but some people still find that great, so they each their own. I mean, like, yeah. I think that one of the things that you mentioned, Rahab, is like, oh, yeah, I feel like I've been preaching this, and everyone has been ignoring me. I mean... I think the thing is, like, Warframe doesn't change in the sense of, like, you can preach whatever you want in the sense of, like, hey, this needs to change because, like, basically you're making things worse. And you can have a very good and solid argument, but they'll never listen to it. And that's something that...
like, there was a time when they did actually do this change in a good way. Like, I can't remember when it was, but they...
2014.
No, I wasn't playing during then, so it wouldn't be that. No, I think it was like one of the Christmases, like 2018, 2017. They buffed a lot of the guns in the game, and I think some of the melee weapons as well. What they did there is they actually made changes to the stats of them, improved them. That update was well loved because it actually fucking changed these weapons and made a lot of them a lot more usable and a lot more fun to use. But since then, they've just seemed to have stopped doing that for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, like...
and it's not just the explosive weapons that are being included in AoE weapons, it's anything with an AoE. So that includes weapons like the Ignis, which I'm sure Retro will be very happy about. That can no longer headshot because
wonderful.
Yeah, because apparently, quote unquote, it just doesn't make sense for a flamethrower to headshot. Which I'm pretty sure if you point a flamethrower at someone's head, that's a headshot.
Let's see. Yeah. Anyway,
Yes, it is absolute bullshit for OG.
Fold says, let's see, brain hurts from the complication. You guys played Destiny? I have played it back in the day. I tried playing the new update, and I just didn't understand shit. And then I went to watch, like, I Hate Everything's review on it. And what he said, like, it just felt like Warframe nowadays, where basically they have so many systems. But the problem with Destiny is that Warframe has a structure where it's like, hey, if you want to keep up with things, go play this quest, or like go find this quest, and this quest is gonna be fucking, or this mechanic is gonna be very well hidden. We're not gonna tell you where it is, but you can find it. In Destiny, they're gonna be like, okay, listen, so here's a very important weapon that you're gonna need for this shit. Here's a very important bit of lore that you're gonna need to know to like understand what the hell's going on. So if you want to get that, okay, listen, if you want to get that, you should have played like 5 years ago when we actually did that like in a live action thing, because hey, it's like real life, you know, if you weren't there, you missed it. So sucks to be you. So right now, yeah, go suck one. It's like, yeah, that's something that never got me into Destiny, and right now it's like also so overcomplicated, it's insane. But yeah, how's crossplay looking? I don't know. Excuse me, the only thing that actually lets me speedrun things? Yes. Oh, bummer. Wanted to play some more with wanted to play with some more people on it lately. Yeah, it's Destiny right now. It's so like in Destiny you have the PvE content, and you have the PvP content, and you have like the raids, which are like a mix of them, and you have like the quests. Basically, what I've done, like they've basically deleted all of like the like everything up to like up and including Forsaken is gone. So you only have like the newer thing, which is like the Witch Queen and like whatever came out recently. So you have those, which is like okay, so you have that. So you can play those quests. If you still want to follow that, like you can't really catch up with the earlier stories. So like for a single player like story quest, it's garbage because you can't really like follow it from the start because like that start is gone. So you're like, okay, let me do the PvE activities. But the PvE activities are very much focused on just like random or reoccurring events that kind of happen. It's like, oh yeah, here you go, something happened. Like the rewards from that are not that great. And if you want to start a raid, like you're saying, okay, well, what if I want to do like good PvE content, raids, for instance? Oh yeah, you can do raids, but you have to know exactly what to do. Like, they have specific requirements, like, know what to do. If you don't know what to do during those raids, if you don't have the perfect build for it, you're out. And, like, you can, like, group together with a bunch of friends, but that's gonna take, like, 45 minutes to, like, do a Destiny raid, and do you really want to do a Destiny raid for 45 minutes if, like, you don't know, like, you haven't played the game in a while? It's like, I don't know. But then you're like, well, hey, maybe you can do PvP, because basically the gunplay in Destiny is fantastic. I've always loved the gunplay that Destiny has. It's great. Similar to how Apex has like great gunplay. The gunplays are not similar to each other, but they're both like great feeling. Like the guns feel nice, the sound is nice, like the design is nice, it looks good. But if you want to do that, PvP in Destiny is just like Warframe. It's dependent on your PvE stats. So if you don't want to be slain entirely in PvE, you're gonna have to have the best meta gear, which means that again you should have played 5 years ago because that's when the best meta gear came out. And now if you don't have it, sucks to be you. Go like play Cookie Clicker or so. So that's kind of what keeps me out of Destiny. Like I've played it for a while with like a couple of friends like years back when like people from Warframe made like this jump to like let's explore Destiny. It's okay. And like there's definitely fun bits about it, but like yeah, it's never really like got me very much ensnared into it. And now that I see that there's so much requirements and it's like again like oh I have to figure this out, I have to figure that out. It's like I'd rather just play a bit of Apex because it's like I can just jump in, have fun with that. Or not have fun with that. Also happens sometimes. So yeah.
Can I just, for Boji, do you use Wukong much?
We'll see. For Boji says, flamethrower that can't do a headshot? That's dumb. That's one way to lose your players. Soma Prem stocks are going up, I bet. Man, the Soma Prem is gonna be relevant. What's up with Wukong? What is up with Wukong?
I am so sorry for Boji.
Tell me.
Guess who else is getting a nerf?
Ash.
No,
Saren. Wukong. Oh my god, I didn't know. Okay, what are they doing to Wukong?
Celestial damage is, you know, the twin that you can summon.
Yeah.
That's damage is going to be reduced by 50%.
Oh wow.
Damage is only going to be increased if you mark targets. It now uses your ammo, and it can now stagger itself.
Whoa, nice. Let's see. Full system.
It's more than just no more infinite ammo for Boji.
Let's see. Well, full size PvP is somewhat chill, but it's just if you run into those chariot player, that's where it gets tiring. Light level doesn't matter. Weapons do help. Skill's the ultimate thing. All right. Seems like you have more experience than I have with Destiny because like when I went into it like recently, I was out. If you want to give it a shot, like if you're like, hey man, you should give it a shot. Like this is the stuff that you have to do. I'm happy to do so. I can try. But yeah, Mike, what's up? How's it going? You know what really pissed me off about Warframe back in the day? All right, talk about it. Let's vent. Let's do the venting, and then we're gonna do like the serious talk like after that, cause like I also still have that plan. It's like in the title. But yeah, Mike, how's it going, man? Imagine spending weeks to grind for a single weapon/frame, only for it to be nerfed to shit 2 days later. Fucking hell, that seriously agitated me, man. You know.
Yeah, that's the other part of it, is just how there is absolutely no consideration for how easy it is to get certain items. Like, it could take you an entire fucking week of grinding all the stuff that you need to build a certain specific build, and they will still nerf it just with no consideration of the fact that most players are not going to be using this because it takes too much time for them to get there.
Mm-hmm. And then they're like, oh boy, but like now people are not using it enough, we're gonna like nerf everything else. But yeah, no, you know what's even worse? Like when you have that feeling that like the thing that you just like, the thing that you just discovered, or the thing that you literally just made a video about is like, oh my god, I just made a video proclaiming that this shit is useful. Oh wait, the moment I publish it, it's no longer useful, and then you have like the entire Warframe community, who ain't cool people, by the way. Like, let me just say this, okay? If you're part of the Warframe community, and you're cool, you're not part of the Warframe community, okay? Like, you're just part of another community, okay? Fuck it. But yeah, like, basically, like, if you make a video about, like, something in Warframe, which isn't the absolute best shit in Warframe, people will crucify you because, like, oh my god, it's not fun, it's not cool. So, for instance, like, the best performing video on, like, my, what's it called, right here, on, like, my gaming channel, wait, hold on, there we go. So, is right here, if we go here to sort by most popular, look at that, it's called the new best Warframe melee period. Now, this thing, you guys probably remember, if you have seen it, if you've not seen this is a video about like the new best Warframe melee period. It's about Barrow's Butt Plug 2, which was a callback to Cole James MCIK. Back in the day, made a video called Barrow's Butt Plug, and Barrow's Butt Plug was basically like this what's it called? Like this saw weapon, this custom weapon right here. That like he called Barrow's Butt Plug and he fucked around. He called it the best melee weapon period. So I called it the new best melee Warframe melee period. Just like meme on it a little bit. And to be honest, like this thing, oh yeah, here you go. You can see like this thing right here, the best Warframe melee period. I called the new best Warframe melee period. Also, like, look at those views. I kind of wanted to have those views, maybe not. Overall, this is a funny video. Like, it wasn't meant to be serious, even though the weapon itself was not too bad. Like, this was actually put together by, like, on stream. Like, I think Treble inspired this mostly. It were like some pretty decent parts. Put together, like, I don't know if I showed like any build or anything, like, oh, right here, like here I show a build. Basically, like, it would have 100% crit and 100% status all the time. It was rather decent. And then people were just like so mad about it. It's like they were like, oh, wouldn't this be better with this? It's like, oh man, like, wasn't that good? My Orphos sword and shield did better. It's like, oh my god. It's like, come on. It's like, this is literally a meme video, but people hated it. Like, you can see that like to dislike ratio. It's like kind of like 60% like, because like people are like, oh my god, I expected this to be actual, like, real the best thing. It's like, no man, what the fuck are you expecting? We're just memeing, but like they couldn't stand it if it wasn't the actual best. So yeah, that was a good time. So yeah, if you made a video, you spend on like a week on preparing that, farming the thing, preparing a thing, thinking about like build crafting it. There you go, enjoy. But yeah, Mike says, "What's up, my son? Wait, you're my dad now? Sup, dad? That's weird."
Is that making me his grandfather?
Yep, I guess so.
I'm still. It feels weird that Barrow's Butt Plug is the one inappropriate lewd thing about this community I am not responsible for.
But are you responsible for Bella's Bowl Gag?
Don't think so.
That's two things then. That's two things.
You made one before I joined the community.
I also don't think you're responsible for the phrase "slurp me, daddy." That is someone else who is in chat right now. They had a custom command called "slurp me, daddy," and basically, someone who's not in chat right here, but someone decided to like expose that shit to the entire world when Warframe raided me with like, I don't know, 30,000 people. Which is lovely. I was actually having a good time. I was like, man, I would not do that myself. I would never like be like, hey, this is an inside gag that we're having that, you know, like, known for the phrase "slurp me, daddy," man. Like, I would never throw that to like 30,000 people out there who just joined, like, exposing them right there. But hey, you know, I'm proud. I am fucking proud. I raised y'all right. I was like a proud dad. I was like, yes.
Michel, I just want you to know, this is sincerely from the bottom of my heart, if there is ever an opportunity where something like that will happen and it's a big moment for you, I want you to rest assured and know I will absolutely do it.
Go for it, like, seriously.
I will absolutely undermine your authority every single time.
It was so good. It was so fucking good because it was like we were just chilling with like a small group of people then, and basically like this person, as Retro says, like, I don't know, I'm sure I don't know what that means. I'm sure you don't know what that means. But like this person was having like a little like friendly banter interaction with like this other mod, and then the raid came in, and then like he threw it in there. It was like, Oh man, oh it was wonderful. It was wonderful. But yeah, anyway, I think that that's like mostly it for like the Warframe talk. Like, yeah, the Warframe community is toxic as hell. Neckbeard people, basically, yeah. I certainly wasn't there to experience that. Were you not?
I think there was something else I was going to mention. I can't.
Well, we'll see like what the hell happens with like Warframe by the time the update comes out. If they could even like.
Oh, this was it. Raids and trials. Nothing this year because they're going to be completing Veilbreaker and Devori first, and then they're possibly going to be looking at focusing on raids next.
Yeah, I mean, like that's gonna be years out. Like honestly, I can't care less about like all the stuff that they're doing. It's like I just want to see an update come out. But yeah. Anyway, thank you so much, man, for like giving us a little bit of insight as to like how things actually are, like what the stats are with Warframe, how bad it is. How good it is?
I could have typed it out, but I am.
It's too much
really
to type.
Not be fucking bothered.
No, I can imagine. Anyway, I'm gonna go on with the stream. If there's anything else that you like, that we come back to, like, we'll come back to you. All right.
I'm still waiting for you to get Unreal Tournament and Stardew, by the way.
Yeah, like we need to figure that out. Like soon. We'll work on that.
Before I go, I will just mention the one on Steam is the full game. It's not just a special edition thing. It's got everything with it. And
Okay.
It will literally just be a case of you install it and you can play.
Okay,
There's
then
nothing else to worry about.
Then I'll grab the one on Steam because I do still want to get a physical copy because I think that's cool. But like I think that it's best just to grab it from Steam just to know that like everything works. UT 2004 Pod, yes, I've never played it and I really want to play it because like I'm here for so many people. It's good. It's like the origin of like Epic Games and digital extremes. It's a shit that they both sacrifice to make crappy like live service games. And yeah, like I've never played it, so I really want to do that. But yeah, anyway, I'll get the one on Steam then, and then like we'll jump into that.
Yep.
Sounds good. Thanks for like checking it out because like I wanted to make sure I got the right thing instead of like buying something and be like, oh wait, are we actually gonna use this or not? Is this work?
Well, it'd be kind of irresponsible for me to let you spend your money like that.
I know. Thank you for looking out for me in that regard. Seb, I'll see you around. Yup. All right, let's see here. Full says Apex, how's it going, man? How you liking it, dude? Mike and I had a pretty decent run last weekend. Like, I don't know, dude. I don't know if Mike has time this week to like for us to like go and play like a little bit more Apex, but like I think like maybe Wednesday or Thursday I want to do another Apex stream, because honestly it was like super chill. As I said, like I don't always have fun with Apex when I'm playing solos because, especially when it comes to controller, like actually I'm in this really weird spot right now where it comes to controller, it's like so little I can improve in because basically everything comes down to like battle awareness and like reaction time, which is really hard to train because that's just like natural coming towards you, or you don't have that really. You can train a little bit, but it's like very small improvements. You're basically at the point of diminishing returns, and the rest of the game is just like luck. Like, am I lucky with the right teammates? Am I lucky with this? And my style of playing is like kind of like pushing and relying on my teammates. So I'm like, I will basically sacrifice like my own health in order to like make sure, hey, if I jump in here and I can like make sure that I down one and I correct one until like they're literally one, but I go down for it, I feel that's worth it because basically if there's someone behind me that can take down the second one, then basically like we've just taken out like 2 of the enemy team for the price of 1 for us, and then like they can finish up the second one 2-on-1, which should be okay, and they can pick me up and we can be on our merry way. I'll just shield swap and we'll be gone. That doesn't happen in pubs because pubs don't do what you want. Pubs don't communicate, pubs don't do shit. So like when you're playing pubs, like this shit is a lot harder, which is like basically like the entire game is luck, and that kind of can fuck with me sometimes. That's what we were playing with Mike last week. Oh man, it's fun. It's fun. Then again, like when it comes to like personal improvement or luck, I can improve when it comes to like mouse and keyboard. So I am playing that more like in my own time, like off stream. Problem with that though is like I know what I want to do, and it's like, oh man, it's so hard. Eh? It's like I just see someone, I'm like, man, I got this. These people don't move. These people are standing right in front of there. I just jump down and it's just like, the aim just goes like that. I'm just like, fuck. Like so many times. Let's see. That's why you play with the homies. I'm playing with randoms always a disaster. Yeah, then people gotta be online though. That's a requirement. Which sometimes they are, sometimes they aren't. So, but yeah. And it's definitely returned this week. We're definitely gonna do another Apex stream because like I really had a good time last time. Just gotta check when Mike is ready. Is down to play and full. If you want to play too, like there's always a spot open, dude. There's always a spot open. I will be on control. Like I'm not gonna do like mouse and keyboard and like burden you with this shit. So yeah. Let's see. Unless you played CSGO back when it was still alive, getting randos was hilarious. Oh my gosh, the memories, man. Wish I could go back in time. I played CSGO only very, very briefly. I think in 2014-ish. No, 2013, I guess. Like, I played it very briefly because I was playing Call of Duty at the time, and like my friends were playing Call of Duty, and then I discovered like playing games on Steam. I was like, oh, let me download and install like CSGO. And then I played that. I was so shit at it because like I was a controller player on PlayStation 3. I played mouse and keyboard CSGO. So I played it for a little bit, but like it was kind of like weird. But like they gave me to like learn about like moving around corners, moving like predictive aim, that sort of stuff. So then when I came back to Call of Duty, I was already good at that. I was like, shit, this is so much fun. So to me, it was like the training method to like get good at Call of Duty. Just hit me up when you're on. I'll try to join in. Yeah, so I'll check with like Mike when he's down for like whether like Wednesday or Thursday works for him. If he's okay with that, I'll send you a message like what they were looking at, and then like let me know whether that works for you or whether that doesn't work for you. It's all kind of like I really hope that Warframe would have its update like on Wednesday or so we can do Warframe and Apex the next day. If Warframe comes out on the day that we have the Apex plan, then that sucks for Warframe because Apex is the more important game at this point in time. So yeah. Anyway, I think that is most of like the gaming talk stuff. Wednesday or Thursday is perfect. Not gonna lie. Yeah, I mean, that's awesome. That's awesome because those are like the days for like for those types of streams. So work on these nuts. Woo! Because like yeah, tomorrow we're gonna have Black Mesa. Friday we're also gonna have Black Mesa. Hopefully we'll finish it by then, and then we're gonna go and continue on to a new game, which is already planned, but I will like reveal that next week. So then, what shall we do? Like, basically, I think that we should talk about the title of this stream, which was a topic that was brought up by a theme. But before we do that, let me just go take a drink because, like, man, we've been talking up quite a bit. We've been like super excited about like talking how bad these games are. Like, holy shit, we'll fucking so much for a positive stream vibe. Another thing which I wanted to do today was like, I have this iPod Mini right here, which I fixed up like about a, what's it called? Like about a year or so ago. Put extra memory in it. It's like it works fantastic. It's like my daily driver. I fucking love this shit. But the battery's dead. I wanted to fix the battery, but I think we're gonna have to do that another time because I don't think we have the time for it. Let's see. Don't do it, Michel. He's tricking you. Michel, e-girls or i-ladies? Bro. Listen. Look here. Listen. If you're a true man of culture, you don't do that stuff, okay? If you're a true man of culture, you're gonna make sure that you stay away from that stuff as fast as you can. Do you want to be known? Do you want to be known for the eSimp that donated his entire life savings just so he could get a... Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. So one of my subs gave me one of the, like... What was the meme? One of my subs gave me, like, a Tesla. It's like, bruh. One of my subs... Listen. If you give me a Tesla, at least I'll call you by your name. You have life savings? Imagine. Now people actually legit go into debt for this. So, like, honestly, it's pretty sad. It's pretty sad. But, yeah. Oh, boy. That said, though, like, a Tesla, yeah. Like, there's this meme where it's like, one of my subs gave me a Tesla. Here, this shit right here. Here. Like, just spent here. One of my Twitch subs got me a Tesla. It's like just spent 70 grand on just spent 70 grand just to be called one of my Twitch subs. I'm never gifting anything ever again. I don't know how real this is, but I love the meme. Oh boy. Yep, that's the side of Twitch that's there as well. Anyway, let's move on to the requested topic because honestly, I'm pretty excited to be talking about this topic. It's a bit of a weird, like, you know, like shift, I was kind of intended to start the stream off with this, because then like it would be like we'd start out with a little bit more serious talk, and then we'd go into like some meme talk. But hey, you know, we're just gonna go ahead back and forth. Simping plus e-girl is never a good mix. Bro, did you see how much they make per year? Did you see the OnlyFans leaks? Like, did you see how much they make a year? Guess how much they make a year. Like, bro, listen. Speaking of Sims, where is Mika? I don't know, man. I don't know. But yeah, how much do you reckon that they make it for you? Because like honestly, like I'm starting to doubt whether like we're on the right platform, dude. I don't think we're on the right platform. 100K. Listen, 100K. At least 1.5 million a month, 33 million a year. Top creators out there, 33 million a year, 1.5 mil a month, bro. I mean, like, I don't blame. Like, honestly, like this is why. This is why, like, I'm not gonna talk too much shit about it. I'm just gonna say to everyone, stay away from it if you value your money. But I'm not gonna talk shit about it. I'm not gonna talk shit about it because honestly, like, if I could find something where, like, hey, you know, 1.5 mil a month, like, please, what am I doing wrong? So many men are down bad. It is. I feel it's like a lot of it comes down to a lot of it comes down to like finding a solution that works probably too well. Stop fapping, get your money up, hit the gym, work on your communication skills, start grooming, and start dressing better. Watch how fast your life will change. Yep, that's true indeed. However, what you find basically is that this is also something that you find in gaming, where basically like there are certain needs that people have which have become like more increasingly like desperate over time. So for instance, what we find is that when it comes to like getting like feeling of like having something meaningfully done, like having this feeling of satisfaction for something, back in the day, like we didn't really have this instant gratification that we have right now, where like you pull up your phone, you can find something and like it churns something in your brain sort of thing. Over time right now, we've gotten a lot more used to like having this very fast like gratification for things that we do, such that if we want to do something IRL now, like it's a lot more boring. Like life has just gotten more boring because we have a like much more like faster alternative, much more like instant, like whoa, insaner alternative. Like there is literally so much money being spent on like applications and like web design and all that sort of stuff to like grab your attention, keep you engaged. Like people are like researching how to get your engagement, and you're out there like trying to live your life, whereas normally you were trying to live your life, but now you also have like people working actively on like keeping you distracted from your life. So that is something that you have at this point in time. So not only is life getting more boring, it's also harder thus to like do something about it. Because if you want to do something about it, like, hey, like I could go out there and like try and clean my room or try and get fit. Like let me go and like do one, like hit the gym for once. Like you're not gonna grow muscles like just after one day of hitting the gym. However, what you can do is like you can log into your game and you can go get some kills, you can go and get some like grind some stuff, you can go and do some shit. Like the gratification there for like the other alternatives are much better rather than like fixing real life. And then you have games which are literally like made to keep you engaged so much longer than before. So basically what you see right now with the live service games don't have the primary focus on you enjoying their game. Their primary focus is to keep you engaged, to keep you playing. Back in the day, what you'd have is like, this is something which I discovered now that I'm playing like more single player games, like that we've covered more single player games in this channel. The fact that I can like go out and like play Horizon Forbidden West and like I'll get a new weapon. It's like I literally get the new weapon right there. It's like balanced with the game. It's really cool. It's like, wow, that's awesome. Like you don't get that if you play Warframe or Destiny, because you got one of the many weapons and then you may have to like build it still, and then once you build it you gotta like put mods on it, and then once you have like figured it out and you finally have it, it's like, oh, we got something new again, now this thing is irrelevant, or we nerfed it, now this thing is irrelevant. So you're never really like, it's not really about like having you have like the perfect game experience. It's more about like, hey, how can we like give you a carrot such that you will walk after it, and then once you have it you move on. And that is something which like right now, instead of like games being distractions as they were before, like back in the day when you were playing on like your NES, your SNES, Nintendo 64, GameCube, Wii, back when you were playing on those games, like those games were made to be distracting but also be fun. And like that was their objective, to make it fun for you. These games, their primary objective is to keep you engaged for as long as possible. So like Apex will do that with like battle passes. Warframe will do that with continuous upgrade, like updates and like new systems that you can grind hours and hours on. And every single game will have their own hook, which are so designed that if you're kind of like tired of Warframe, you'll try another game, and like there you go, you're falling in that. So people who are looking for gratification, who are looking for getting some meaning in their lives. Instead of like being able to like, hey, let me try like going to the gym, like actually getting my life in order. Right now they have this thing which is like perfectly designed to like give them like that boost of dopamine like every so often until like they just get hooked on that. It's like, yeah, like it like not only is it already hard to like. Not only like are we not like looking right now at, hey, if I want to go to like university and I graduate right now, like my diploma is worth less than it was like years ago, even though like the cost of it has gone up like massively. Like not only are we looking at like a situation in the world right now or the inflation rates or all that sort of stuff, we're not even looking at that, which like you may argue might have made life more like harder or like easier. Like we're not looking at that. Like let's say that the world stayed the same, which it definitely hasn't, but let's say the world stayed the same. Right now, if you want to fix it compared to like, you fix your life compared to like so many years ago, like it's infinitely harder because you have so many distractions which are literally right in your pocket. So there you go. That's a need which people have, which now like is actually too well satisfied. Like the need for like gratification, which normally came from like doing something like actually like IRL, now you can satisfy that very easily by doing something digitally, by playing a game. Similarly, if you're right now in a situation where, hey, for the last 2 years, you've been staying isolated. Maybe the last 3 years you've been staying isolated because we had a giant pandemic. You haven't really seen that many people. And now a lot of like your work or like your education goes online. So you can do everything from your home. You never have to leave your room. You never have to go out there. You can even like order like online food or like you can like order things online. You don't have to go shopping anymore. Basically, you don't have to interact with anyone if you don't want to. And you were encouraged not to. So why would you go back to it now that like you've done that for 2 years and now like you kind of feel awkward like going back to like the shopping marts, going back to like school, like interacting with people. Like these skills have kind of gotten rusty. However, like you don't have to do that because like you can stay inside. You can spend your time there. But what we're seeing is that like overall like mental health is like massively declining at this point in time, and as a result, like what we're seeing is like a lot more people are feeling lonely, a lot more people are feeling isolated, and they feel the genuine desire for affection and connection. And back in the day where like your social circle was basically like within your town, and like a lot of like genuine relations were formed by just like frequent interaction. Like that's one of the things which is very well known for like, especially like the origin of like intimate relationships, but also just like genuine like strong relationships. Like frequency of interaction is very, very important. Just you being in people's lives, like the majority of like relationships that are formed are like within a certain mile radius because like you need to see people in order to get to know them. Now though, like our neighborhood that we engage with is the entire world and everyone in it. And that becomes harder because you don't frequently interact with most people around you. You can actually just go around the internet completely anonymous. You can go around life completely alone and anonymous. So like it's not as easy anymore to just like bump into someone. That said, though, it has become rather easy to like find someone. If you want to go on like a dating site, if you want to like go on like meet people online sort of thing, like these things are like made to be like very easy. It's like, oh yeah, you can go swipe left and right sort of thing. But a lot of that is like very transactional. It's like, oh yeah, like if like basically what you're looking for there is like the perfect person, and then when you don't find the perfect person, it's like, hey, back in the day maybe marriages were arranged, maybe you had like so many people in the town to choose from. Now you have an infinite supply, so what you can basically do is say like, oh man, maybe I'll try going on a date with this person. Oh wait, it didn't work out. You know what, we're just gonna have like 10 other or 100 other choices. That would be more choice in the future, so we're not investing in these relationships. And what you find is like no relationship is ever going to be perfect. No connection is ever going to be perfect unless you put the time and effort and work into it. So then, what's going to happen? It's like you may go to like your dating profiles, or you may go to like your communities, and you may discover like, oh man, I can't find the perfect one. They're not the right fit for me. I'm all alone. Like, oh man, it's like I'm all alone. There, no one would love me, or I can't find the right person. And then the isolation becomes deeper. However, there's also a solution for that, because you can go here on platforms like Twitch, or you can go on platforms like OnlyFans or whatever, and there are people who will like simulate a very close interaction with you. They'll simulate like being very close to you. They'll simulate like being like, oh man, like I deeply care about you. And they'll do that even more if you pay them money. So now you have the situation where people are like depraved for like attention, like connection. And you have people who like have perfectly, very like nicely crafted like ways of attracting your attention, like, and having you pay for it. So right now, like, what we're seeing, like, that's not only in these two dimensions, it's also in more dimensions, where right now there are needs that are increasing, but you also have very good ways of, like, serving those needs in ways that aren't really all that good for the people that have those needs. So that's why I'd say stay the hell away from it. But yeah, let me catch up with chat a little bit. Let's see. Dude, imagine your mom or dad sees your OnlyFans. Why is your mom and dad our OnlyFans? Imagine they say, we support our son. No. Sweet home Alabama. Oh boy. What if your mom or dad uploads to OnlyFans? What, you know, like, there may be generations. Like, there may be generations coming up where their parents did have OnlyFans, or maybe still have OnlyFans. You know, like, the one thing that I'm worried about when it comes to OnlyFans is, like, there's always a big disparity between, like, the amount, like, that the top makes and the amount that, like, the bottom makes. So if you look at Twitch, like, the top, like, so much, like, so 0.05% actually makes the most of the money, and the rest don't. That's just the way that, like, these things go. It's like per redistribution or something. Like, it's the way that, like, online media works. It's like it's the way that it goes. But the thing that I'm worried about more is that if I, like, let's say I try Twitch streaming, right? I tried Twitch streaming for a little bit. Like, I play some games. I play some games on Twitch, and basically what I do is, like, hey, you know, I make 0 viewers, I make no money, and, like, yeah, it's not gonna work out. I'm not gonna make millions. Then in the worst case scenario, what will happen is, like, I'll quit it. Someone else will discover that I just went on Twitch and, like, did some streams. Maybe they've saved those streams, and they're gonna, like, expose my streams to the rest of, like, my world, my social circle, and they're gonna, like, look at this person. He did some cringy ass weak gameplay where he tried to make comments and tried to be funny, but he really wasn't. And just, like, it looks all awkward and weird and shit. It's like, yeah, like, that may be uncomfortable. People may laugh at you a little bit, but hey, you know, people have done way worse. Like, seriously, it's like, it's definitely something which is like, yeah, you'd rather not have people see the very first piece of content that you made, or you thought you knew everything, but you really didn't. It was kind of awkward. But hey, you know, it was kind of awkward, whatever, you know, you can move on with that. But what if you decide to, like, go all in on, like, the OnlyFans shit, where it's like, hey, you know, I've seen people make, like, 33 million a year. I want to have a piece of that pie, too. I feel like that market is also, like, very oversaturated, just like Twitch. However, in that case, like, if you, especially if you tie it, like, to your own personal, like, character sort of thing, your own personal, like, name and all that sort of stuff, like, it can be something which, like, if it doesn't succeed, like, there is still, like, a lot of stigma around these sorts of things where it may actually be, like, more harming than just, like, someone just, like, decides, like, oh man, let me upload some cringy gameplay, or that didn't work, or whatever. So that's something which, like, I'm actually worried about. It's like, man, like, I feel it's like, there are still mistakes, like, there are definitely mistakes that you can make when it comes to YouTube or when it comes to Twitch, things you should watch out for when you're playing these platforms. Like, for instance, I made a video one day about Warframe servers. I made a video about, like, how to set up your Warframe PvP server, and I very clearly made this entire video where, like, I set it up as, like, this is the way you do it. It got viewed, like, over 2,000 times. It was insane for me at the time. But, like, it just showed my IP address. I didn't know that. I didn't know what the problem was with showing an IP address, and no one acted on it. I actually deleted that video off, like, the public internet, so you can't find it anymore. But basically, like, that would mean that if you had that, you could dox the stream. You could figure out, like, the location of, like where I uploaded that from, and, like, that's really stupid. But hey, you know, that's kind of, like, the worst that I did. But yeah. Anyway. Let me catch up here. Dude, I remember there was a story of a girl who opened an OnlyFans and her dad bought some of her pics and then found out it was her. Holy shit, that must be a weird conversation at the family table. Like, seriously. Dude, I remember let's say, oh no, I already read that. Yep, I enjoy single player games a lot more. So like, yeah, me too. Honestly, like, single player games are the fucking best. Multiplayer games are just fun with, like, the homies, but yeah. Like, honestly, like, single player games is literally where it's at. There's so much quality there. The only thing I've enjoyed in gaming lately is talking to other people. Dating sites statistically aren't a good idea. Yeah, I don't think so either. Perhaps that stalking simulator. Do you play as a stalker or as a stalkee? Ooh, well, that depends, I guess. Serve this tightly crafted asshole. OnlyFans family business. Oof. We're joking, but that's so weird. Imagine someone's son discovering their parents' OnlyFans/porn history, for fuck's sake. Yeah, I mean, but, like, if you're, like, this is the thing, though. This is gonna happen. This is literally gonna happen because Pete, like, just like I don't know, like, what got you into YouTube, fault, but the thing that got me into, like, YouTube was, first of all, like, I wanted to answer people's questions, and, like, videos seemed like a fun idea. I like making videos, but also I saw that it was potentially a viable career option. That's why I spent so much time doing this, because I do hope that one day this may be something where, like, I can legit make my career out of, because I really enjoy this shit and I don't really want to do anything else. So, like, that's why I put so much time into it. And I think that like a lot of people will go out there, see like the successes that like big OnlyFans story makes, and like they'll go out there and like make their content. And like that's okay. I mean, like as long as they're okay with it, and they're doing it with like their full consciousness that like, hey, you know, this may succeed or may not succeed. But the fact of the matter is that it will still always remain online. What's on the internet will never be deleted from the internet. So there will be kids growing up where, yeah, you have this footage. I mean, like, I don't know, like, literally, I'm saving all my streams, so it could be that in, like, 50 years' time or so, like, my 20-year-old son or whatever, like, will look at, like, me, like, being, like, 20-something and, like, doing this stream. It's like, yo, what's up? How's it going? It's fucking weird, because, like, people in this generation never had that with their parents from, like, you never had that connection, but now we have this shit. So, yeah. You did what? Free IP? Yikes. Yes, I did. Like, it was pretty bad. I'm, like, really glad I discovered that later on. I was like, shit, let me get this off. But, like, that's something which, like, I didn't know that IP address was, like, so revealing, but it is. And similarly, like, you can make big mistakes when it comes to, like, hey, this is something which I'm really, really worried about when it comes to, especially the business of OnlyFans, or, like, business of, like, this, like, friendliness sort of thing, closeness, serving the needs of isolation. Is that it can be really, really hard to deal with like extra nice people. It's really, really easy to deal with extra negative people. Like, let's say someone comes in the stream and says like, "Hey, fuck you, I hate you, I hate every single one of you. Y'all are bad piece of shit," or whatever. You know, like overly negative, not in a meme way, but actually like negative. You just ban them. Like that's very easy. But what if you have a person that just donates like, I don't know, like $10,000 and like, and say like, "Hey, you want to go out?" It's like, is that a meme? Are they serious? I mean, like, it's a lot of money. Maybe I'll take it. And, like, I feel like a lot of people, like, will go into that thing where it's like, hey, you know, it's kind of nice, and as long as I just keep it at an arm's length, maybe I'll go along with it. Maybe we'll just say it's a meme. Maybe we'll say it's a, you know, whatever. You know, we'll just play around with that. However, they won't know that, like, someone who's so dedicated to spend, like, a large fucking amount of money on, like, something like that, which, honestly, like, I don't think is fucking healthy. That's why I would like encourage all of y'all, like, if you ever like make a purchase onto this channel when it comes to in the form of a donation or whatever it comes to like, hey, you know, you want to support overtime. I want to make sure that, especially like that's the thing with subscriptions. Right now I have this overtime thing where like I make exclusive content for the people who are subscribed to like either Patreon or Twitch right here, such that like if you do support, you get something in return. But if you just want to donate or you just want to give back to the channel, if you feel like that's worth it, always make sure that that's something that you do with money that you can just spend, like, and don't expect that there will be anything in return of like favors or special things or whatever. And like I feel like I always make that very clear, and I feel like most people have that understanding. I do worry though that especially in these OnlyFans situations or whatever, where people like spend so much money because they feel this attraction, they feel this one-sided parasocial relationship where they're like, oh yeah, you're my forever after sort of thing, and the other person doesn't even know them. You can get in a situation where people are so obsessed that they give so much money, but also can be so obsessed that they can literally use like whatever like random pictures you took on like your Instagram or whatever to like geolocate you and fucking stalk you. That shit has happened. Like and had some really bad consequences, and it will happen in the future. And that is shit where like, hey, you know, me accidentally uploading my IP address and then like being able to delete it without anyone like doing something about it, like, hey, that, you know, I got away with that, and like that's alright. But like maybe you took a picture and that's like in their database right now, and like they can actually like geolocate you and like will chase you around. It's like, no, that's not nice. They know your real name now. Good luck, you know. So that sort of shit. Like I'm glad that I'm not doing that type of shit. I would never go into that business industry sort of thing because there's just too much risk involved, and I feel like a lot of people are probably stepping into it without knowing the risk, because like everything here is like so individualistic. There is no like peer support group, there's no like mentoring thing, there's no one who really tells you the shit when you get into like this type of shit. So yeah, it is fucking dangerous, man. Let's see. Full the Hero said, I got maybe 40 dates planned out over the course of a week. However, I hate it because everything is so fake, like a game. So even if you are winning and are killing it, you gotta act so fake in order for it to work. You'll never find any long-lasting relationships on Tinder. Maybe just sex or someone you just meet once for food, and that's it. Oh boy. But like, do you seriously have like 40 dates planned over the course of this one single week? My man, killing it. Honestly, in all honesty, I have personally never used that stuff. I will use it for a meme. Like I've always been like, I'll probably like download Tinder or so like for a meme. So I was thinking like this could be a cool video idea where maybe like I'll do it with someone else and like we'll create each other's like pages, and we'll like it could be a video where like each person has full creative control over like how to create the other person's profile, and then like we may like decide to like respond in certain like character styles or whatever. Like, I don't know. What is it called? Like, like someone messages you and you just like reply to them. They come to this place knowing they're not pure, like something like that. Like that could, like, I think that could make a fun video. But other than that, like, I've never personally used it because I don't really have an interest in it. Like, I don't really care. But yeah. Let's see. That's just how relationships work nowadays. People rarely stay together for a year anymore, let alone to marriage. If they do, divorce rates are extraordinarily high. How to get murdered 101. Murdered speedrun any percent? Yep, but you created me. Does that not make me special? Let's see. My name is Walter Hartwell White. I live in 308 Negra Arroyo Lane, Alberta, New Mexico, 87104. Michel, I'm leaking this IP. Okay, I will fill the tricks with Tinder. 1. Have a few pictures of yourself, good angles, etc. At least 3 to 4 pictures at the minimum. 2. Don't overly swipe. Tinder will secretly blacklist you if you swipe too much. Only swipe on women you generally find hot. 3. Swipe only at night. People use Tinder at night for some reason. I wonder why. I wonder why they're using it at night. Oh man, Michel believes in the free apps. Find, fuck, forget. Oh man. A theme says the lower life so desperate for our love, so such one gleams my attention. Find and grab my presence, effort here to my station, and find out just how much love I have, you gleaming skull. Let's see. At night, you say? Yeah, at night, Retro. That's a trick. Not at 5 in the morning. Like, dude, I would have done it at, like I felt like 5 in the morning was prime time, like literal prime time. Tinder only has women. If you want to have not women, go for Grindr. Cole made a video about that. 4, when you match, just be flirty, where you're like, oh, I bet you're too lame to go. I bet you're too lame to go out or something. That shit worked so much for me. But hey, for example, Michel, hey Michel, want to play Apex tonight? Actually, man, I don't know, probably lame. Might not want to play. Actually, that's a really good. Oh fuck, I don't have the book here. But actually, like what you're doing there, I don't know if you're aware of that, but like that's a tactic which like is one like a good book which I would recommend to everyone. It's called like Start with No. So let's go here. Start with No. Like that is something which is so fucking good, dude. Like I don't know if you're doing that. Start with No gym camp. Boom. This is a book I would definitely recommend you'll read if you're interested in like, I don't know, like starting a business or whatever, or just like in general life advice. This book is quite good. Start with No by Jim Camp. I would recommend it. I read it myself. I actually got it recommended by what's it called? Like Louis Rossman. He's like he's made a few videos about this stuff. And honestly, like I was like, oh, I want to read this, and it's actually quite good. It's about like how to negotiate. It's kind of like a negotiating book. Like he has like Jim Camp, like the late Jim Camp, unfortunately has passed away, but like he had like this entire method of like doing better negotiations than just like the win-win model. But the thing that you're mentioning there, for like like for example, hey Michel, you want to play Apex tonight? Actually, man, I don't know, probably lame, might not want to play. What you're doing there is like you're asking me a question, but instead of starting out with yes, you're starting out with no. And why is that important? So let's say that let's say that you go on like a website or so, or like actually like let's say you go on a website and like there's advertisements there, and it's listing all this shit where it's like, buy our product because it's better, it is more glamorous, it's better priced, it is this, it is that. It's like they give you all the reasons to like say yes to it. What's your first reaction? Your reaction is gonna be, hell no, get it the fuck away from me. The more people become pushing on like, yes, do this, take this, like the more people start pushing yes, the more you want to draw away from it. If you walk on the street and like some sort of like what's called salesperson comes up to you and is like, hey, do you have this, do you want this, hey, we also have this, we also have that, and they're pushing and pushing, you're just gonna be like, stay the fuck away from me. Sometimes though they get the sale. Sometimes like it happens that they can convince you to get the sale, which a lot of times you do, either because like they kind of tricked you into like, hey man, this shit is really good. This shit is really good. And they kind of like led you on. You're like, oh yeah, you know, fuck it, I'll buy it. Or like you're kind of like, oh, I want to get rid of this, you know, fuck it, I'll do it. But then afterwards, you're gonna have second thoughts because like you may have been swayed by like your emotional brain sort of thing. But then like afterwards, after the yes, like your rational brain starts thinking, it's like, yeah, this is not good. And they're like, your rational brain is not gonna be satisfied. It's gonna be like, what the fuck did we just do? And basically, like, what you're gonna do is either like you will never interact with that person again, or you're gonna make their life hard because like they gave you something which you're not happy with. So pushing yes is not really a great approach. What like the book actually argues is like start with no. So like let's say for example like this thing where it's like where it's like what Fold says, like, hey, do you want to play Apex? Well, actually, maybe not. Might be lame. Basically, what he's saying is like, hey, do you want to play Apex? But I can understand if you don't want to. So like, first things first, like you're already like disengaging like this entire emotional stuff because like, hey, instead of like pushing you for yes, we're just saying it's okay to say no. Like it's okay to say no. It's like, hey, you know, I understand if you don't want to. So there's no pressure to be saying yes to this because like no is already an option. So then like if you already say like, hey, I guess maybe not because it could be lame. What you're having then is like the person starts thinking it's like, oh, would it be lame? Would it be alright? You know, like is it actually like that bad? So for instance, there's an example that Louis Rossmann gives, which I think is like actually perfectly illustrates this. What he had, for instance, was like he runs a repair shop. He ran a repair shop in New York. He's not moving his repair shop somewhere else, but he ran a repair shop in New York for like electronics, MacBooks, and he basically like. He basically just like had someone come into like his repair shop with a MacBook, with like a MacBook which had like a which basically like had a fault with like the what's it called, with the trace, like basically the connection between like the hard drive and the like the hard drive cable and like the hard drive and the cable like to connect it to the motherboard. So basically his hard drive couldn't be read by his computer anymore, and it required a fix. So this guy comes in and he says like, hey, how much is it for like this hard drive fix? Lewis like gives him a price, like it's gonna be this much, and he says, well, you know, why so much? Because Apple quotes it for free. Apple will repair it for free. Well, he knew that it wasn't for free, but instead of saying like, yeah, but like, Apple is not free and like, you know, we're gonna give you better servers. He's like, no, actually, you know, I'm sorry for wasting your time, man, because honestly, like, if Apple can do it for free, like, I'm sorry for wasting your time because that's clearly the better choice. Like why should you be here if Apple can do it for free and I'm gonna be here. I'm not gonna have like original parts. I'm gonna cost you more. It's not gonna make sense for you to like request our services. Just like go out and like go to Apple and like Apple will fix it. And like even when they fix it, like instead of just like replacing this cable, they replace the entire hard drive. And when they replace the entire hard drive, you're gonna have a brand new hard drive. It's gonna be completely clean. And the only thing that you'll have to do is like you'll just have to like restore your backup, and then we'll be all okay. And he was like, backup? It's like, yeah, you know what they do? It's like basically the problem right now is just the cable between the like hard drive and like the motherboard. But what they'll do is like they'll just like toss away the hard drive and they'll give you an entirely new one in their repair process. However, that's okay because like you just like have everything backed up and then you can just click restore in one button, like it will be completely restored. But he didn't have a backup. That's why he was there. It's like, so is there no other way to like get it back to like get the data back? It's like, so is there no other way to get the data back? I mean, like, yeah, I mean, we could fix the cable, but like, I would really recommend you go to Apple because like they do it for free and they'll just replace it. It's like, doesn't matter the price, just fix it. It's like you gave this person all the reasons to say no, and despite all the reasons to say no, there was still a reason why they came to you. And then they said yes, and then they don't like go back on their thing like, oh my god, I made the worst decision because you gave them every opportunity to say no, and despite that, they went for it, and that's where you get better. Like that's what this entire method is like. Start with no works. A really interesting book. So yeah, if someone tried to fuck me at 5 a.m., I'd probably bite whatever their equipment is off. Damn. Can I use pictures of a Chinese model instead? He's got an amazing Catboy cosplay. Let's see. Careful, that might be their kink. Well, they'll get a nice few moments before I throw them out the window. I just have to make sure you don't go to sleep. Perhaps says, I had a Tory politician come to my door once. He said, I hope we can count on your support in the upcoming election. Wow. I just said, we'll see. Retro says, basically pretend to be disinterested, hard to get, when people will come by more interested. Thunder types win at life, I guess. Well, that's not necessarily it. Let me explain that a little bit more. Fold says, not gonna lie, I want to go back to the US and do that again, just for the fun of it. Wait, are you not US based? Dude, I thought you were US based. What? We're not US based. Hold on. I thought you were US based, or am I? No. I thought so. Damn. Let's see. Let me catch here. Y'all just like chatting back and forth. I'm not gonna read it all that. But yeah, so it's not necessarily about like being hard to get. It's like, you want to make sure that you want to make sure that you like. You give people all the opportunity to like say no to you, and you want to make sure that you understand where they're coming from. So for instance, like in the example that I gave, if you like, actually no, let's put it this way. So let's say that you're like a car salesman and you're trying to sell someone a car. Let's say that like they're trying to buy a car from you and you're just saying, okay, listen up. So yeah, like you should really buy this car because it's got great gas mileage. Like it is really good for the environment and it's like it's really cheap. I can give you this package and like you get so much off. And like you're saying all that, but you're telling that to someone who has like millions in the bank and like drives a Hummer every day and is just like looking to find like a small shopping car because like the parking spaces are really cramped. It's like they're not gonna care about gas mileage. They're not gonna care about the price. So everything you just said to them was complete garbage, and they're just gonna be like, "Oh man, it's like basically like you just wasted your time with them," and they're gonna feel like more apprehensive about actually saying yes to it. Whereas instead, if you're gonna be like, whereas instead of like trying to push like your entire token points on them, whereas instead of like if you're gonna try and like, hey, what are you looking for? And they're gonna be like, well, you know, like I like high-end luxury cars. Like I have like a Hummer at home. I have like a giant Cadillac at home, and like I'm kind of trying to look for something that would fit my style. Like you can be like, well, you know, we don't really have that high-end luxury cars, so like mayhaps like another manufacturer like would be a better choice. Like have you looked into like Mercedes? Have you looked into this? But most likely they will have. Because like there's a reason why they came to your place, which may not be very well known for luxury cars. And then they'll be like, well, so they'll be like, well, you know, like I'm kind of looking for something small because like in the city, it's like okay, so I know that Mercedes has like this like small ass car, like what are you looking for exactly? And it's like, well, you know, like their car is like okay, but it's like it's still too big, and also in the city, I'm kind of worried about it scratching up. So you know, I kind of want to have something if it gets dented, it's okay. It's like there you go, like now you know what they're looking for. And then you can kind of like work with that instead of like trying to constantly push like oh yeah, buy this, that sort of stuff. So yeah, yeah, Fold, give us your RP so we can confirm. Michel Postma projecting people's nationalities. Lamau, wait until he finds out I'm actually South African. Bruh, I just... Do I need to say anything more than British? Cup of tea? Ball of water? Bruh. No, like legit. I thought Fold was US based. That weird. I thought you were US, but like again, like it's just like US is like a very big fucking thing. I was just general location, man. Just general location. Y'all need longitude and latitude as well? Nah, man. No. Joke's on you. I'm actually Canadian. Are you? Wow, that's pretty cool. But like Retro, you can't be Canadian. You don't apologize enough. You do not apologize enough. You should say sorry more. Like you're way too aggressive. Oh man. Okay, we should see what the hell we're gonna do. I think that I should actually get onto like the titular topic of the stream. We don't have a lot of time for it though, because like honestly, it's getting really warm in here, and like, but yeah. Wait, Michel, you live in Canada, right? All right. Where is this thing? Where is this shit? I gotta find this shit. Did y'all see that? Did y'all see that? It just decided to fall on over. What a stupid light. Yeah, no, I can't find it. Can't reach that easily. Just check the emote. Check the emotes. Guys, do you have the emotes here? Do you have the emotes? There we go. There we have those emotes. Yeah. Bro, you have a Tenno flask? Yes, I do. Bro, I got this shit at like TennoCon 2017. Look at that. It says Warframe over there, but it's completely fucked. That was like the day I got it because like the paint isn't great. So yeah, this shit is gonna be replaced soon though. This shit is gonna be replaced soon because like I'm not repping Warframe anymore. It's just that bottle is like the only one I really have left. What I do have here though is a brand new bottle which I soon will be using, which has got Twitch on it. But yeah, okay. So Fold, you seen those emotes? So yeah, to answer your question, actually like that emote. Fun fact: that emote is like an emote about like of like a cup that I actually have. But yeah, so I'm Dutch. I'm not Canadian. I come from this little place called the Netherlands. The Netherlands in Holland. If you want to know where that is, let me go look that up. I'm not Canadian. See, he thought I was Canadian. We both got our nationalities wrong. Like holy shit, boy. So yeah. Anyway, so if we go here to Canada right here, bada bing, bada boom. If we go to Google Maps, this is where we actually like met each other, but like we didn't actually like see each other, sort of thing. Like, man, like the fact that you were there at TennoCon 2018, but like we didn't actually like know each other enough to be like, hey, yo, what's up? That's kind of crazy. I had the same thing with Sandy Pants. He was there at TennoCon 2017. I didn't know. But yeah, if we go there, if we go here across the ocean, there we go. That is the Netherlands. That's a me. That's a me right there. So yeah, somewhat like same line as Canada, I guess. But yeah. Let's see. I don't know. What's that? Someone's lying to you online? Oh man, I think I would go. Stream keeps buffering every 3 seconds. I don't know if my internet or if Twitch is being an asshat again. But hey, it was nice watching your stream. Take it easy, bro. Dude, I'm sorry about that. Do we have transcoders? Yes, we do have transcoders, so I think it's being Twitch then. We're not having any drop frames here, but yeah. Anyway, it was cool to see, and like let's keep each other updated. Son of G, how's it going, man? Hello, buddy. It's been a while. How are you? I'm doing alright. How about you? How about you? That's not the Netherlands. We all know the Netherlands is on the water, and we're not on the map. True dad. True dad. Oh boy, oh boy. So yeah, how's it going with you, man? London, fucking mainlanders. Yeah, London it is. London with an E. That said, though, like I don't know if I man, should I get in here? Let's see. I thought we had built a portal out of obsidian to get to the Netherlands. Yeah, you actually do. You actually do. Like you have to go for like an obsidian portal if you actually want to get in there. Like that's actually how it works. That's why they created Minecraft for. But yeah, let's see. I'm good. All the better for seeing you. I'm glad you enjoy it. I'm glad you enjoy seeing the stream. Let's see. I'm actually considering a timeout for that joke. Oh boy, it is nice there. It is really warm here right now. That's what it is. Also, this music is way too happy. Holy shit. There we go. That's more like it. That is more like it. Anyway, let's go and talk about the titular topic of the stream, because otherwise we never get around to it. Holy fucking shit, man. So, today's title is how to be good enough when you're fuck. How did I call that? It's nice there. I'm up north, dude. You have it much nicer at this point in time. How to be good enough when you're feeling inadequate. So this this is a topic that came from a theme. We said the question I asked during the stream, like on Friday, because Friday we were gonna do like basically Black Mesa. We're gonna play Black Mesa, and then Mika came up with something at the start of the stream. We had like a really good talk about like basically what you do when your life is like full of shoulds and you don't really feel like you're living your life. It's just like a constant like ongoing like thing that's going on and going on. You never really get out of it. Like, well, there we go. You know, like we talked about it. We talked about like my perspective, how I dealt with it, sort of thing. And then a female asked this question. I kind of want to talk about that, but not during the time that we actually had to play a game. So now here we go. We have just chatting stream. We can talk about this. This summer was the warmest after 50 years. It was hot as fuck, and I don't do very well when it comes to like heat waves. So it wasn't all that great. But yeah. The question Afima had during the stream was the idea of feeling inadequate to do what you want to do because there's still more to learn. However, you might actually be good enough to do what you want to do better than you know. So if I'm going to paraphrase this a little bit, the way to understand it, Afim, please correct me if I'm wrong. So you're kind of going to be in the situation where you want to like do something. Whether that may be like you want to try out something new, maybe it's something that you're already like very familiar with, but you want to like try something harder or something more challenging than you've done before. You want to do something, but when you look at the thing that you want to do, you're like, I don't know if I'm up for it. I don't know whether I'm up for it. Let me go and like research a little bit, like what I need to do for this, because if I'm gonna try this, like I don't think I'm prepared for this. So like I'm gonna go research what I need to do, what I need to know about this. And then you start researching and like, yeah, like I'm getting a little bit more understanding and like skill and like what I want to do. And then like you look at it again, it's like, yeah, but there's like still stuff that I don't know. Let me go look this up again. And like basically like you're never ready. So for instance, like let me give an example. Like let's take streaming for an example, because it's very easy for me because it's something that I'm very familiar with, and it's something which like I hope you'll like also understand since you all watch Twitch. So let's say that you want to start streaming. Like you may think with this thought like, man, I want to start streaming, right? And then like you sit there and you're like, okay, so what do I need to start streaming? Because right now I can't start streaming just by myself. You know, what the fuck do I do? It's like, okay, so what I'll need like software or so, like I don't know. So like you just look up online, like how do I start streaming? And like you discover, oh, you need streaming software. Well, there's OBS, so you can like download OBS, so you can run with that. It's okay, I have OBS. But then, like, how do you do the stream key? Like, and then you find out you need the stream key. You need to make sure that you have, like, maybe some music playing. But what kind of music do you have playing? Do you need to have, like you can't have copyrighted music, but what's the right music that you can have playing in the background? And then if you want to have, like, your game showing, it's like, okay, well, I have my game showing, but if I go live now, I'll have, like, 0 viewers because, like, I'm not interesting. I can't talk about anything. What game do I even play? What game will be interesting? What game will give me viewers? And at the same time, like, what kind of music do I play? And, like it will only be the game that's showing. So maybe I'll need an overlay. But if I want to have an overlay, like, I can have a single static overlay like this. Or I can have, like, 2 things where, like, hey, you know, we have like, a scene like this, and we have one where we zoom in. But, you know, like, if we only have that, it's like, first of all, like, if you want to do this, like, you're going to have, like, motions enabled. You're going to have certain plugins. You're going to have, like, draw up designs for, like, a chat right here. You're going to have to make sure that you have plans for what you want to do. And then you discover, like, oh, wait, if we're going to have these integrations, maybe, like, there's coding that needs to be done. Because basically, like, OBS allows even more functionality if you integrate Python into it. So, wait, I don't know how to code. So, basically, if I want to stream, I should learn how to code. But I don't know how to code. It's like, how do I start recoding? And you start looking, it's like, oh, I need to, like, start with this. And basically what you have is, like, no matter where you, like, how hard you try, what you discover is, like, yeah, you learn something, but you're never good enough. Like, everything you try and do just, like, shows you that you're way too far from, like, starting your own stream, basically, from doing what you want to do. The more you try and, like, better yourself, to, like, improve yourself, to, like, be good enough to, like, do the thing that you want to do, what you discover is that, man, I'm a piece of crap. It's like, man, I'm not there. It's like, okay, so I've learned this one thing, but I discovered that there's 10 more things I need to do. It's kind of like you're fighting a Hydra, where, like, you know, the snake where, like, you cut off a head and, like, 2 pop up. It's like, you just want to get started. You just want to do something. But when you try and get there, it's like, how the harder you try to, like, fix yourself, you're never good enough. Let's see. Streamer doesn't think I'm good enough. Feels bad, man. Join up with a games community program. It will work out brilliantly. Oh, it will be worth it, man. It will be worth it. Do it. And that is something which, like, you may feel when it comes to, like, starting something. Like, starting something makes it, like, it's actually, like, a really easy way of, like, showing where, like, hey, you know, like, it may be hard for you to get started with something because you don't know anything. You don't know anything about it, so, like, you're gonna be brand new to something, and, like, the more you learn about it, the more you discover that, like, you know, you don't know, you should know, you feel. But it can also happen with something that you're very familiar with. So let's say, for instance, that, like, you're doing very well with, what would be another example? Let's say you're doing very well with your, like, sport. Let's say your sport is, like, ice skating. Like, you're very good at ice skating. Like, that's something you, like you enjoy doing. Like, you're getting better at this. Like, you're just having a good old time. And then, like, you go and participate in, like, a competition. And what you discover is that, like, you're slower than literally everyone out there. Like, you're out there training for, like, I don't know, like, 3 or 4 hours a week. There are people who train, like, 1 hour a week who absolutely just skate you away. Like, they're way faster than you. And all of a sudden, it's like, well, clearly, there is a big difference between me and them. So what am I doing wrong? What's going on? And all of a sudden, like, you're out there and where you thought that you were doing okay in this and you were good enough to be, like, training there. Now, all of a sudden, what you discover is, like, the thing that you were doing wasn't good enough. There's something wrong. And obviously, there is something wrong. I'm not here to tell you that there wasn't something wrong because clearly something went wrong there. So something is happening which causes the other people to be better than you are. And if you discover what it is, then you can improve on that. But what you may discover is that when you're trying to, like, catch up on that, where you're trying to, like, work on that, what you'll discover is, like, well, you know, you're back to that same pattern, basically, as, like, you're starting somewhere new. Even though you're familiar with this, you should know this. What you may discover is, like, well, maybe I should train more. But what should you train more? Because maybe I should train more of this sort of stuff, or maybe I should train more of that sort of stuff. Maybe my technique is incorrect. Maybe this technique that I've been, like, working on for, like, years has been completely incorrect. But if that's incorrect, what else do I not know? And then, like, you can start, like, going back to the fundamentals and then trying to be like, oh, wait, there's something here where, like, I need to, like, do an entirely different technique, or I need to look into different equipment. And all of a sudden, it's like, oh, shit, I gotta look into equipment. And you discover with equipment, there's a whole lot of dimensions where, like, you can just buy a regular skate. But you can buy, you can also buy, like, different kinds of skates. And there's different brands in there. And there's different techniques and different compositions that you can do. Like, how the fuck are you gonna understand that? So, what you discover is, like, the moment that you find a situation in which you are actually inadequate. You are, like, if you start out brand new with something, or if you're, like, somewhat, like, good at something, but then you get into a situation where clearly you're inadequate, maybe because, like, you're not at the level that you were supposed to be at, or you, like, see that others are way further ahead of you in a way that's, like, very significantly striking. Like, what you find is, like, you are inadequate at a certain moment in time. And then like your search starts for like, how do I actually catch up? How do I make sure that I actually become good enough? And what you'll find then is like, you'll kind of like end up with like the problem of like the bubble of knowledge. So what do I mean with the problem of the bubble of knowledge is that if you don't know something like that, like let's say you have like a like a flashlight in the dark. It's like the moment that you turn on the flashlight, like basically like you have a small ring of light. And that ring of light kind of represents everything you know. And like you can extend that ring of light. But what you know is like the bigger you increase the circle, the bigger you also increase like the circumference of the circle. And the circumference of the circle is all the things that you don't know, but you know that you don't know. So for instance, like there is a whole bunch of things that we don't know right now. We don't even know what those things are that we don't know. Maybe there are alien civilizations out there who have certain technologies that we can't even imagine. We can't even fathom that. We don't know that. We don't know what these technologies are, but we also don't know that we don't know them, so it doesn't really bother us. However, when we start like discovering that, hey, we were using ice skates, which were like we thought that ice skates were just ice skates, but all of a sudden ice skates are like come in different sizes and different forms and like different shapes and like different modules, and like all of a sudden we discovered that this isn't just like something that we didn't know. We gained some more knowledge, but upon gaining that knowledge, we gained a lot more knowledge about not knowing this shit. And that's something you'll discover when you're new, where it's like, hey, you know, I just want to start streaming, and all of a sudden, like, you have to, like, make scenes, you have to, like, start learning Python, you have to start learning this and that. Like, there's so much more to it. That's also what you may have is, like, when you're somewhat familiar with it, but then you discover that there was something you were missing, and then it's like, oh, shit, now there's so much more that I'm missing. Like, even though you gain knowledge, like, you're gonna get to that point where, like, you're gaining knowledge, but you're also, like, gaining more, like, not knowledge. You're gaining more understanding that you don't know things. So, like, even though your understanding increases, your feeling of adequacy, your feeling of like, oh, I got this, decreases. Because whereas first it was like, oh man, streaming is just like very easy. Like I'll just push one button, I'm live, and I'll just talk, right? That's it. It's like, well, maybe it is, but maybe it isn't. Maybe there's a lot more that goes to it. But then like this idea of like, oh man, the only thing I have to do is like push a button and talk, goes into like, oh, I have to do this and then that. Like all of a sudden that thing that you don't know becomes much bigger. And like basically like you're trying as hard as you can to like fill that void of inadequacy. But basically what you're discovering is even more inadequacy. So like how do you go about then, but like when it comes to like trying to feel good enough, how do you go about then like this feeling where like, hey shit, you know, if I want to improve it, I'm only gonna feel worse. If I want to improve this, like what's gonna happen is like I'm not gonna improve it, I'm gonna make it feel worse. Like do you just have to stay where you are? Do you have to like not try and improve such that like you just know like I'm inadequate, but hey, at least it's not gonna get worse? Not really, because then you just be stuck. You're not gonna move anywhere. What I think is like it's important to take a look at that. What you're basically gonna have is that you will never be perfect. You will never have like you'll never be adequate. You'll never know everything. And like basically the paradox of knowledge is the more you know, the more you know that you don't know. So if your feeling of like feeling good enough comes from basically like this idea that you know everything, or like that you are like that you have the skill or the capacity of like doing this thing. If that is where like your confidence comes from, you'll never gain that. It's the same way, like if your confidence comes from money, let's say your confidence comes from like having $100, $1,000, $1,000,000 sort of thing. If that's where your confidence comes from, basically the moment you'll achieve that, like you will still be the same person, because you will not become a drastically different person whether you have like $100 to your name or like $102 to your name. It won't change you that much as you may think. So what you'll find is that if your goal was, hey, I will be good enough when this thing happens. I will be good enough when I get this money. I'll be good enough when I get this knowledge. I'll be good enough when I get this relationship. I'll be good enough when I get like this perfect high score in this game. What you'll find is that your like uncertainty, your lack of confidence, and like your like basically like your struggles will still be there. But like you have this, but it doesn't feel like you have it, because basically like your goal was to have it and then feel good about yourself. You don't, so you obviously that wasn't the thing. You need something else. And you'll never ever chase that dragon. You'll never catch it, because your confidence doesn't come from like getting that. It doesn't come from like getting like all the knowledge in the world or all the money in the world or something else. Your confidence got to come from within. But what the hell does that even mean? The confidence got to come from within. Yeah, everyone says that, but what the hell does that even mean? Like, oh my god, yeah, my confidence comes from within. It's like, yeah, thank you so much. I'll write it on like you know, a piece of tile. I'll put it on a t-shirt and like I'll wear it around proudly, and like I'll go to the mindfulness sessions that everyone recommends. But no one understands what the hell it means. Like, oh, confidence comes from within. It's like, that's kind of weird, right? like confidence, like man, like what the hell even is this confidence thing? To be honest, like I don't know whether I have a perfect explanation for it. I don't know whether I have like something that could be like could like approach like the right what's it called, like the right answer. But what I would say, like where I feel confidence comes from, it's like confidence comes from like dealing with failure and knowing that like you can like having this confidence that no matter what comes your way, you can overcome it. And the only way to like get this idea that like no matter what comes your way, you can overcome it. Like you don't have to have the like insane anxiety about the future. Like the only way that happens is if you fail. Like if you win all the time, and this is something which like people may run into. Like when they have constantly, like let's say that they have, like they've played in like a regional tournaments or like skated in regional tournaments and they always won there. Like they have never dealt with a loss. They've never dealt with failure, and all of a sudden like they get into like the situation where, oh, now we're playing nationals, or we're playing like World Cups, and you're going there, and all of a sudden like you who never lost all of a sudden lose very big time, and then you discover that there's so much you don't know. Then like your entire confidence may just be sapped away because you've never had failure. Now all of a sudden you have this shit where things didn't work out, and what do you do now? You don't know. However, if you have encountered things before where like things did not work out, then like you know that, hey, we didn't die. We're still around. We we worked ourselves out of this, and most likely confidence is stored in the balls. Indeed, confidence is indeed stored in the balls, right next to the P. But yeah, then like most likely, like it's kind of this understanding like, hey, I've had this failure, but it didn't bring me down, so I can try again. Because that's one thing which is very, very important to understand. It's like you can never fail enough unless you decided it was enough, sort of thing, or you die. But basically, like when it comes down to like, I mean, like there are certain situations like when you're a kid, when you're in school, like you can fail, of course, like many times. But at the end of the day, like you can keep on trying. Like a lot of like successful people, sort of thing, they've tried a lot of things, and probably most of those things failed. But what made them successful, apart from like instead of like other people who weren't successful, is that at a certain point in time, like these other people decided like it's enough, I'm done, I'm not gonna continue on. I mean, like, I've made so many streams which were, like, completely garbage. I've made so many videos which were completely garbage. And, like, still right now, like, would I say that, like, I'm successful at what I do? I mean, like, somewhat. Like, y'all enjoy watching this content. And, you know, hey, you know, like, some people like to support it. At the same time, I'm not at a point where I can live from it. But at the same time, I also know there are people who can live from this, but they also don't feel like they've made it. Because, like, you know, there's still problems that they're facing. So, like, basically, like, I can say right now, like, oh man, I've done this for, what is it? Like, I started content creation in 2015, started streaming 2016, I've done this for 6 years, and I haven't even made, like, 1 million subscribers or whatever, or 1 million followers. I should quit. And some people can give you a very good reason to quit. You could quit at any point in time. You could say, oh, I'm done. Like, I failed, it's not worth it, I'm done. Or you can continue. Like, no one's, like, the only person who can decide whether you want to quit or not is you. The only person who can decide to, like, come back up from failure and try again is you. Now, does that mean that you should just try, like, head on, like, not think about it? Well, probably not, because then you're just gonna, like, run into the same wall. But from, like, multiple tries, and especially if you're open to, like, understand, like, hey, where did I go wrong? Where can I improve on? Like, most likely, multiple tries will give you, like, more understanding, and, like, will make you better, and at some point, you'll probably overcome it. And that's generally where I feel like confidence kind of comes from, is, like, having this, like, readiness to, like, try again and try again and try again. And sometimes, you know, you need to have this feeling of like, I need to step away from this. Because, like, you know, sometimes stepping away from it is the right choice. Like, I stepped away from Warframe because, yeah, you know, keeping on trying with Warframe wasn't the right thing. But yeah, like, that's something when it comes to, like, feeling it, like, how do you feel good enough when you constantly, like, faced with this reality, like, you're inadequate, no matter how hard you try to, you're inadequate. Like, you're not gonna get this feeling of feeling good enough from, like, getting this external knowledge or getting this external thing. Like, that's never gonna happen, because that goalpost is always gonna move and you're never gonna chase that. Your feeling of, like, good enough should come from within. So when it comes to that, like, one thing that you can try is just like one thing is like, okay, so if what I'm gonna try to obtain is like a certain, like, goalpost, it's like, if I fail, like, some people are brought down by failure. So with that is like, well, why does like why would failing at this matter? Because basically, like, if you, like, some people feel like, I have to make it now or I'll never do it. I have to do this now or, like, it will never happen, or I've lost all the chances. Basically, you have all the tries in the world. You have to the end of your life to figure out how to make things work. And if it doesn't work, oh, here we go. Here we go. You know, you're dead. Who cares, right? Who cares about like how successful you were, how badly you failed? At the end of the day, no one cares. At the end of the day, like there are people that lived like 1,000 years ago who went for all their struggles, went for all their things. Some people being super successful, some people being barely any successful, and they all lived and they all died. And how much do we know them now? Barely. And that's not to like say like, oh man, you don't matter. No one gives a shit about you. Not in the sense of like in a bad sense. More like, hey, your life is just for you, basically. So live it. Like if your life like revolves around you wanting to do this one thing, and like it will take so many tries to fail at this, you're gonna fail this so many times, and like you're gonna try, and maybe you'll succeed and maybe you won't succeed. At least you have done what you wanted to do. You're not like, you can do that. Who cares? That said though, like not necessarily every single time that you have this like lack of confidence, not every single time that you have this lack of like feeling adequate, not necessarily does it have to come from like not having dealt with failure before, because there's also cases where people have failed constantly, and because of that they're feeling inadequate. And what I would say, like what I feel most of the time is the case then, is what you're gonna like what I found, especially with like my own situation and like people around me, is that there are many things in life in which we've all failed at, but we don't recognize that. We don't notice that. Like, basically, like, there are things in childhood that you've tried, which, like, you were really bad at. Maybe, like, for instance, I was really bad at drawing, or, like arts and crafts sort of thing. I didn't care, you know, whatever. Like, we all had our subjects in school in which we failed, and we never think back about it, because who cares? However, there are these, like, when you're feeling inadequate, because there have been multiple times in which you failed at something, you do care. You do care about these failures. And I'm not here to say like, oh, you should not care, because you do care and you have a reason to care. And that is mostly where the answer lies. So like if you have, or like if you're feeling inadequate, not because like you've never really faced failure before, or like you're afraid to try, but it's more because like you feel like you're the person who always fails, or like you can never be fixed sort of thing. So for instance, like what I had, like to give a personal example, I felt very, very inadequate around 2018. What happened around 2018? So basically, like what I did when I was creating content, like I started out making Warframe videos, and I now got into this Warframe partner program, and I discovered there was no communication between these people. So I was like, hey, you know, can we make a Discord or something? I spent a lot of time like trying to get that to work. Then we were like, hey, can we do like some sort of cool event with these people? And like there we go. Like I organized an event that was very insanely popular. It worked very well. Like we followed it up with a couple of with like a couple more events, until at a certain point in time we had like kind of like a chaos things, like not really chaos. We kind of had a situation like happen where I wasn't really making any money. I was like trying to like build myself up, because I was like, my plans for like doing this were just like, oh, it's fine, it will work itself out. And at the same time, like, it was a really good feeling at that point in time, because, like, I had all these people I could speak with, all these people, like, I used to look up to, who are now my friends, and, like, I felt really appreciated. However, at that point in time, when I tried to, like, move towards, like, furthering my own, I felt like all of a sudden, like, the support kind of dropped. Then Warframe came along, requested an event, and basically 15 minutes beforehand said, oh, all the support we promised you, not gonna happen. Never spoke to me again. So I felt very used. I was like, okay, shit, doesn't matter. Basically, like, I wasn't good enough for like being able to like counter this, but hey, you know, I still got myself, I still got all the people around me. And then when like I wasn't doing these big events that would make front page stories anymore, well, guess what happened? Most of these people were my friend, and they wouldn't respond to me. So at that point in time, like, my reality became from like, hey, I've like 60 friends, and people will appreciate me, and you know, I'm a successful content creator. From that image, I went from that to, I don't have anyone around me. My own channel is really fucking small. I'm not making any money from this, and all my quote-unquote friends are living better than I am, sort of thing. That happened pretty fast, and for me, that was something which, like, the way that I interpreted it was I did not work hard enough. Because if I worked harder, because like one thing I did around that time was like my focus on YouTube wasn't all that great. My focus on like everything wasn't. It was like I was enjoying my time. I was like, yeah, you know, like we're organizing this event. I was working hard on it, but like I could also like make a video and then like argue like, hey, you know, I'm gonna spend 2 days just like playing Warframe, like finding like doing this quest, or like finding this one thing, or like trying this build, and I could like or justify for myself, oh, I'm gonna spend 2 days just like playing a game, and that will be for a video. Honestly, it wasn't for a video. It was just because I felt like playing games. I'd never had this freedom as an 18-year-old. It's like I never had that. So like, you know, I was like, I let it go, and I was like, shit, you know, I kind of threw it away. I didn't work it hard enough. I'm not good enough. And no matter how hard I worked, I spent the next few years just working really, really hard. And it's still like hard for me to like deal with like work-life balance because I tend to lean too much towards working, because I never want to not work hard enough again. But the thing that I have there is basically I have like an unprocessed emotion right there. It's not necessarily that like I failed at that point in time. It's because like I failed before at many things, but I failed at a point in time where basically like I had a very upsetting experience there. I had a very upsetting experience where within a month's time, like I've lost both the thing that I was super passionate about, and I've lost like all my friends, and there was nothing I could do about it, and I felt like I had no support. And that was something which was very upsetting, and I'd never really been able to like properly process that. And like in order for me to like deal with this feeling of inadequacy, in order to like try and feel like good enough again, I will never like be able to like deal with that by working because like I'll never be able to do hard like enough work to feel good enough. And like I can't really like appreciate that or like deal with that by like trying something and failing at it and learning that like failure is good enough sort of thing. Because like I have this thing in my head where like constantly when I fail or when I see that I'm not good enough, like I'm transported back to that moment in time, and like the emotion comes up again. Basically, like let's say, like, well, actually no, I'm not gonna go into that. But yeah, so if that's what happens, then that's something that you should definitely speak with someone about. And whether that's someone where like, hey, you know, someone who is very close to you, whether that may be like a professional, like a coach or a therapist, like I would recommend like processing that first, because that is something which is like severely holding you back in that situation. And that's the actual problem. It's not that you're not working hard enough. It's not that you're not skating hard enough. It's not that you have enough knowledge to like stream. It's that you actually have this like unprocessed emotion, which like every single time kind of like pulls you back, and you'll never be good enough, no matter how great you are. And like this is something that can haunt people, even if they're like making millions in the bank, they'll still feel that they're not good enough. And like that's something where like they may have like worked hard and they may have acquired everything, but because they haven't dealt with like the root of the thing that causes issue, then like basically you're always gonna have that. So deal with that first. And one way to dealing with that is like it's like pretty much through conversation, because like a lot of times like what you'll find is when it comes to like these unprocessed emotions, it's a lot about like you went for something which you couldn't quite comprehend, and you have this thing where you don't really know what happened. Basically, you were face to face with chaos, and you don't know what the hell to do with it, and you need to understand what the hell is going on. And once you can place into context what happened and deal with it, then that's something that like will become less of a factor that's holding you back, and then you can move forward with it. So, a great example for this to like make it like more simple for sort of thing is, let's say that like I'm walking around with like a little kid. And like on the sidewalk, there's like a dog that like also walks around. There's a dog owner and their dog, and like the kid goes to like, you know, pet the dog, but the dog bites because maybe it's a mean dog. Maybe the dog was like, you know, a bit irritated because the kid wasn't handling it very well. Who knows, right? Something could have happened. It bites the kid, and the kid is obviously like immediately upset, scared, afraid, pain. Like the kid would kind of like run back, especially like let's say it's like my niece or my nephew or whatever. Like they would run back to me, especially if like I'm the trusted primary caretaker. And I'd be like, oh hey, don't worry, you know, you'll take the kid away from the dog, and like the kid will be upset because like something happened that was like traumatic, it was painful, like there was fear. And if you want to like console the kid, like one thing that you can do is like, hey, you know, let's go eat an ice cream. You know, let's go eat an ice cream, and like instantly what will happen is the kid was like very sad and like in shock and pain. It's like most of the time they'll cheer up, they'll have some ice cream, and like they'll move on with their day, and overall they'll be happy. However, if the next day I walk around with a kid and like there's a dog across the street, what will happen then? Basically, the moment that the kid sees the dog, like the same emotions will come up again because the kid has not processed what the hell happened. They don't understand. They haven't had this time to like process that. Hey, what happened there? What is a dog? Is a dog something that will always bite me, or is a dog something that will only bite me if I do this particular thing? Or is a dog like, are there friendly dogs and evil dogs? And evil dogs will bite you all the time, but friendly dogs don't. It's like, they don't know. They haven't processed it. They just see dog, hurt, pain, and they're transported immediately back in time to that moment. Similarly to whenever I feel like, hey, I'm not doing good enough, or like, hey, I don't pull these numbers, or I don't like pull like I don't have like this amount of subscribers, or this amount of money, or this amount of whatever. Like the moment I see that, or the moment I like I would see that, for instance, like people I was very close with were like doing like something together, and like I was just sitting there all by myself, sort of thing, or like whatever. Like I would just sit there and be like I would be transported immediately back in time to that moment where I just realized I lost everyone. And I lost everything. And like I'm back in that time where like what the hell happened? I don't know what the hell happened. I still don't really know entirely what the hell happened. I still don't know entirely like why the hell some people like did the things that they did, because I thought I could trust them, but clearly I couldn't. But there's also things that like I've learned over time. I've learned that like I've learned, for instance, that if people say like, "Hey, you're my friend," doesn't mean that you're their friend. Like that's fucking naive. But those are things you have to learn in order to process that, and the only way to really process that is through like conversation. Because like you can try and think about it yourself, but you are very biased by your own self. Like you know what you're thinking, you know what your next thought is going to be. So if you're going to try and like counter your own thoughts, like you can't really do that. You can't really play chess against yourself, but you can play chess against someone else. So if I put forward my experiences, like what I deal with, like someone else could be like, hey, but like what happened there? Like, hey, you know, you said you had 60 friends, but were they really your friends? It's like, yeah, of course they were my friends. They said they were my friends. Like, not everyone who says they're your friend are your friend. Really? It's like, do you think so? It's like, yeah, sort of. It's like, what does a friend mean? It's like, well, you know, it's someone who you like help for thick and thin, sort of thing. It's like someone close to you. It's like, so this person you met once, you only had like DMs with, and they said they were your friend. Like, was this someone you were close with? No, not really. Were there something that had proven that they would do like things for you? It's like, no, not really. It's like, well, were they your friend? No, not really. It's like that sort of thing is like, what's it called? God, I've lost track of it. But yeah, like that sort of like reframing of like and like getting an understanding for like conversation with someone else, like that allows you to think more about like, hey, what the hell happened, and gives you the understanding like, hey, you know, not all dogs are bad dogs. Maybe like you have to watch out how you treat a dog, or like watch out whether the dog is a good dog or a bad dog. Like just in the same sense, like it doesn't have to be with a dog, but maybe this unprocessed emotion that you have has to do with something else. Maybe like you have people around you who like always like were mean to you if you showed them something great, or like maybe you always got punished. Like the moment you failed, like you always got punished. It's like, hey, you got bad grades, then like, you know, your parents like go to your room, like we don't want to see you, no dinner for you because you got bad grades. So not only did you fail, but you also got punished for being for failing. So not only was the pain bad for like, shit, I failed, but you doubly failed. So those are things that you gotta like watch out for. If that's the case, if you feel like you have one of these like something that which is more akin to like this unprocessed emotion, then like see if you can speak with someone. Preferably it would be someone who is trained in this, which would be someone like a coach or something like a therapist. But if that's not available to you, I personally find that for me, just like speaking with someone who like I know very well and who is willing to listen to me and who's open to it and who's like open to asking the right questions, sort of thing, and like as a volunteer for this, basically, like they want to, like it can help. But yeah, that's all I have to say on the topic. I don't know whether that's very well. I basically did not prepare that at all. I just kind of spoke from my mind. And like, that's something which I want to like make very clear. It's like, what I'm saying here is not like entire fact or like good. This is just like from my experience, the way that I've dealt with these questions. So yeah, let me catch up with chat a little bit. Oh shit, I need to have my homework. I'm still on the 4th questions. Oh shit, dude. I hope you make it, man. I hope you make it. L plus ratio, I think about all these things all the time. I remember every failure like it was yesterday, because until imperfection has been pounded out, the failure is still there. Theme says, you'll never be good enough no matter how good you are. Got it. Made chocolate milk, nice. Ha, eat shit kid. This sounds familiar. Peterson's rhetoric, if I recall. Could be. It's like, a lot of the stuff that I've learned, that like, basically like when I ran into this, which was around 2018, I discovered that like I had issues with myself, sort of thing. Like I had this stuff which was like not making me very happy, so I wanted to very much understand what the hell was going on. I wanted to understand very much about psychology. So like I did watch Jordan Peterson's like personality lectures, which I thought were really good, regardless of like your opinion of the guy and like what the hell he may have done like around it, or like whatever his political views are. I feel that the lectures themselves are really good. I've also gotten like a lot of my like understanding from like Healthy Gamer. So Healthy Gamer GG is like a Twitch channel which like advocates for like mental health. They also have a coaching program where they like do peer coaching or creator coaching. I've also done the creator coaching program. I've also followed a lot of I've also like read a lot of like psychology books just because I want to have more understanding of myself. So a lot of what I say, like, these are definitely not just my thoughts. These are just things that I have learned over time, and these are things that I have like experienced. And I will not perfectly recite them. I will not even perfectly know where they all came from. And maybe I'm wrong in some things, but like I'll just say like this is the way that I've learned. This is the way that for me works so far. Maybe in like a year's time, like I'll learn differently. You know, that's the process. But yeah, that's just the way I feel. I mean, I've got a lot of criticisms for psychology as well, but I know what you mean. Yeah, I mean, like, this is one thing when it comes to like adopting knowledge or like listening to someone to like learn something. It's like never one-on-one take over what they say. Just like take what they give you and then pick out the things that are worth it and leave the rest for whatever, right? So yeah. Let's see, synchronization of data you've learned, now it's taking your own form. Yeah. So like similarly, I really don't expect you guys, I really don't want you guys to what I just said, like literally copy paste it and tell that to someone who may ask you this question. Just take what I said and then like wait it. It's like, does that make sense? Does that work does that work this way for me? If it doesn't, it doesn't, and like don't take it over. If it does work that way, you're like, hey, that makes sense, take that up, but like don't, because like one thing clicked for you, don't accept the entire thing. But anyway, that's it. I feel like we've gone for like a really, really long stream. We talked about a lot right now. So, but yeah. BRB gonna sell this transcript unedited? Dude, if you're gonna transcript it, like, holy fucking shit. That's gonna take you quite some time, dude. Oh my god. But yeah, anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys had a good time with this stream. I sure had a great time just talking about all sorts of random shit. Rahab, thank you so much for like your expert Warframe opinion, and everyone else here also for just like talking about Warframes, talking about like this more deeper shit, I guess. I had fun. I'll see you guys all tomorrow for Black Mesa Part 4. Yeah, have a good one. Enjoy, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.